podcast. What is this, 225?
Is it really?
Is it really?
225?
I thought you were saying the year for a second then. It didn't make sense.
No, it is not the year 225. We have TVs and internet and...
What year is it?
Hey, you're Gus.
I'm Gus.
I'm Gavin.
I'm Barbara.
Burnie.
So-
Our camera angles are different this week.
They are. I
Why
like
is
them.
that?
Patrick.
So what is that? You're
Oh,
like,
look at that. Yeah, it is different. I gotta be careful not to pull a Sharon Stone here. I gotta be proper.
You can see part of Gavin in that shot.
So yeah, we're here. It's our last pre-RTX podcast.
Oh, you got me excited. I thought it was our last podcast ever.
No, it is not our last podcast ever. I guess we do have the patch coming out on Wednesday, but we're gonna probably pre-record that.
Probably.
Yes.
We did.
We did pre-record that.
I was going to say.
The illusion has been shattered.
What
we're gonna
secrets are you
See,
trying
that's
to
such a
keep?
pointless lie, though.
Keep up the sham.
What?
Well, if you've already done it, why would you say you're about to? You might as well
I don't
just own
know.
it.
I wanted people to watch and tune in. Now you ruined it.
Oh.
So things have been crazy. Like, I always forget how hectic everything gets right before RTX, and like the shipments coming to the office are nonstop.
Yeah.
I feel like FedEx and UPS should just set up a depot here.
Why are people shipping stuff to the office? Why don't they ship it to the convention center? That's what we do.
I know.
We don't like ship stuff to the Penny Arcade offices to go to PAX.
There's some things that we need that we've ordered
Not everything.
that show up here. Like because of credit card verification, they have to ship it to the billing address.
Oh, get the hell out of here.
Yeah, so some shit shows up here.
You know what we don't need is 40 Mega 64 boxes. I'm fairly certain we don't need those to run the convention.
Doing this guy's a favor.
Somebody does, but it's not us.
Hey,
You're-
think of it
you're
this way.
doing them a favor.
We can sell them their merchandise so they can then turn around and sell it.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea.
We're holding it hostage.
Yeah.
We've been having dance parties around it just to keep it company.
Yeah.
Get it accustomed.
It's like keeping a chicken egg warm, basically.
Who was it that was putting their balls on it earlier? It might have been Jack, actually.
Okay, who's Jack?
I think he was smearing his balls across the top.
I thought
of
someone
that
just like
box.
straight up came on all of them.
Was Jack really doing that? I know hers is a joke. Was Jack really doing that?
I mean, I don't think he had his actual two testicles out doing it.
You know,
but-
mine is a joke, but not his.
Well, no, I just imagine Jack
You
actually
know the office we work in.
rubbing himself
That's
up
also
against
true.
it. I know where the lines are, Barbara.
No, I'm sure we
I
can
wrote
find,
the employee handbook.
I'm sure we can find security
right.
footage of Jack kind of smearing his balls.
Is there
like
anything in
that.
the employee handbook against rubbing semen on stuff?
Yeah, I'm sure there's definitely lines.
Semen's one of those things that goes without saying.
I think it's illegal. Anything that's illegal, you can't do in the office.
It's illegal to rub semen on something.
Yeah, I would think so.
What if you don't know it's semen?
What does that mean?
Surely that's some,
Like, what if you just have a clear paste in your hand and you're just like rubbing it on something?
who just pasted in your hand?
Yeah.
Well,
Why
you
would
know.
you? Where would you get a clear paste that you don't know what it is?
But what if it's actually...
What would happen that you'd end up with semen in your hand and not know it was
this
semen?
is literally the worst hypothetical situation anyone has ever come up with.
I'm trying to be more like Gavin, apparently.
Surely you don't want to do that.
Barbara is delirious.
Yeah.
Delirious, by the way.
Yeah.
So why is that? Have you been up long hours?
It's just, well, as Gus said, the last week before
Hey.
RTX is really, really crazy, where every little piece that you've been waiting on for the entire year is now coming together, and you have to have everything finalized. Like,
Well, everything becomes focused. It's like you have all these abstract ideas,
Yeah.
and now it's like you're coming to a point where every single thing needs to be finalized.
and like for me, I want to finish up everything tonight because we start moving tomorrow, and I want to have all the documents, all the printouts of everything we need. So it's like last
Yeah.
minute stuff,
Good luck with that.
pretty much.
So what are you going to do the day after? Are you just going to shoot up a load of heroin and lie down?
I'm probably just gonna pass out. That's what I did last year.
You couldn't do that at the office, by the way. That'd be illegal. One of the things.
But don't smear
I
semen
guess
on
that's a
anything.
scenario where you could end up with semen in your hand and not know
Yeah,
what it was.
there are many scenarios like that.
Yeah,
So if you have any questions, by the way, this is live, right? I'm
Yeah,
so
we're
confused.
live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you have any
Sure,
questions, you can
understand.
tweet to us using pound or hashtag RT podcast.
Pound or hashtag.
and we'll be checking those. Is there ever going to be a replacement for tweet chat? I hate that they broke the API and now we don't have
Why don't
easy
you?
access to that.
They didn't break the API.
They disabled that function.
Right. Twitter's drawing everything back in house.
Well,
Like-
they need to have a comparable solution.
Do they?
No. Well, I guess you go to the at page, a search page, and just refresh it.
Why
how many-
do you get TweetDeck on there?
Because I've never used it.
Okay,
I've never
that's what
used
you want to
TweetDeck
use.
either.
Does
Like,
it?
look, I have TweetDeck. It's got my hashtag and shit's just rolling by.
But does that automatically scoop down?
That's rolling by. That's what it's doing. See? Look at that.
Scoot down.
Somebody
It did. You're not even kidding.
Somebody send us something.
There you go, guys.
Okay, cool. I'll get TweetDeck then. I'll have it ready by next time. So the next podcast we're going to do is going to be at RTX. It'll be on Sunday.
Yep.
It'll be a day early.
Sunday, 12 to 1:30 in the main ballroom.
We'll
for anyone who's gonna
rebroadcast
be
it
there.
our normal time, Monday evening, so people who are used to watching it then can watch it.
And it'll also be live streamed on the RTX event website for everyone.
So what panels are getting live streamed?
Everything.
The whole thing?
Unless someone specifically requested not to have their panel streamed.
There are some individual things that will be omitted from the live stream, but most everything will be viewable.
Yeah.
I love when people suggest stuff like that. Like we received a suggestion the other day saying that we should do that for 2014. And I was like, dude, come on, we did it last year.
Yeah.
We're doing it again.
Is that the Reddit thread where you
Yeah.
posted a picture of Slowpoke?
Yeah. Slowpoke is my new favorite thing to post everywhere.
Yeah. It's genius.
It's funny though. People are like that. Like they don't realize when they're seeing something like that. Even when they see it, it's right in front of them. They say, "You should do that." It's like, but it's right there in front of you, and we're doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had that. I did a thing this weekend with Ray, where remember like a few months ago, I pitched in the Monday meeting that we do a podcast that was RT podcast on one day, then we would do the gaming podcast, which is now the Patch. We would do a spoiler cast, and I also suggested a one-on-one podcast, which was basically just an AMA.
Yeah.
And everyone was kind of like, about it, or whatever. So I thought, I'll just do that as game time, and we play a game, and I'll just talk to one person while we play a game. And so we put that out, and people had a really good response to it, but everyone's like, hey, there should be a show where two people play a game and they just talk while they play a game all the way through. It's like, they should do that show. It's like in the comments of it. It's like, that's what that fucking is. You literally just watched that. You're commenting on the
described that
comment
show.
thread for that show saying that we should make that show. It's really strange.
Insane.
Makes no sense. Hey, Ben's here, by the way. Ben's back from the UK. Speaking of one-on-one interviews.
People are pointing at him. Thank you, whoever that was pointing at Ben. I wasn't sure which one he was. I haven't known him for like 5 fucking years. I've known him longer than I've known him longer than the person pointing at him.
I feel like Ben is so young that I've known Ben longer than Ben's been alive. Somehow it seems like that. But Ben was in that last one-on-one interview series that we did, which was me interviewing people about stuff they don't know anything about.
You should make a series of that.
We should do that.
Yeah.
Actually, that we should be.
You should do more episodes of that.
That was a tough one because we had to like pick a subject for that people in the audience knew the answers to it, but the person we were interviewing didn't. Like, cause it's no fun if you just ask them questions about stuff that the audience doesn't know either. Then like, yeah, we're all stupid together.
Yeah.
Yeah, you also have to find someone who's a willing participant and doesn't mind looking dumb.
I can say to you, Ben set a really high bar for the first one.
Aw.
It was really funny.
I think he did great.
Yeah. Although Kara was great as not knowing anything about any guy movies whatsoever, too.
She probably has one of the best responses to anything
That's
in the history of the company.
Easily the hardest I've ever laughed
Yeah.
in the workplace is Kara's response to the Back to the Future question.
Yeah.
I must have laughed for 15 minutes straight, and they had to cut it out.
I don't know why they cut that.
Well, because they thought the character, like...
Or just put it at the end or something.
Right, well, they thought the character's better. Like, everyone always asked in the comments, how did Burnie possibly keep a straight face? And I just didn't.
Yeah.
Where you're just
we
like,
cut
okay.
it out, so...
That's the magic of editing.
So
We should do that. We should edit videos so that they
edit-
look as good as possible.
We should make a show where we edit the footage instead of just putting it online.
Happy Canada Day.
So it is Canada Day, yeah.
Yes.
And that doesn't mean anything. Like, right? I mean, what does it mean?
It's when we became an official country.
Not a real country.
Yes.
So is that-
1867.
Is that a day off from work in Canada?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I know my whole family had the day off today and they went downtown, which in Ottawa is huge because it's the capital of Canada. So if you go downtown to where Parliament is, it's like a sea of Canadians.
What did they do downtown?
There's like music and food, and then at night there's fireworks. It's like what 4th of July would be like in
Okay.
a big city, I guess.
In the big city.
In a big city.
I picture they went downtown and like since everyone's off, like every business is closed, it's like everyone just goes downtown. It's like, oh, okay, and then
what
they
do
go
we do
back
now?
home. Like there's nothing to do.
But what does Canada Day celebrate? Like a big battle? Like the first Tim Hortons opening? What is it?
First Tim
exactly.
Hortons.
What would it be?
The creation of poutine.
It's becoming a country. We're signed with to become the part of Britain Confederation.
So you went from being a colony to being a country owned by another country? Is that what it is?
Something like that, you know.
Okay. So it's kind of just a made-up day.
Is that
We
still
just
a
want to
thing?
say that Canada is cool. That's
Is-
the only reason we made
Is the
that day.
Queen
I'm
on
just-
Canadian currency?
Yes.
Is that still a deal?
And guys playing hockey.
Yes, that is actually true.
And a goose.
So you guys
That's
still own
true.
those guys?
What's
Are
that?
you pointing at me?
Yeah, you guys. You still own those guys?
Well, it's part of the Commonwealth, isn't it?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
Yeah, we're part of the
What do you have
Commonwealth.
left in the Commonwealth at this point?
You got a bunch of like islands here and there and stuff. And
What
all
happened
that.
to India?
India is independent.
Yeah, no. What happened? What happened?
What do you mean what happened?
Well, it wasn't. You guys.
There was an agreement.
There was a colony
It was like, hey, see you later. You can have it.
like Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Why do you guys make those agreements?
Hey, you
man?
can't have it.
What do you get out of that?
Well, giving back countries to the people.
Right.
I don't know. It's like,
You're not going to give back like you fight like hell for Ireland constantly. You do, right? Northern Ireland?
me personally, I've never fought for Ireland.
But people do. People fight for Ireland all the time. Like,
Yeah.
it's one of the ongoing.
Well, Ireland is separated.
Why wouldn't you just give Ireland back? Like, whatever. That's an agreement.
Well, they have Ireland.
They don't
we-
have all of it.
Well, we got the top bit.
Right. The top bit's the part I'm talking about.
Right,
Why
yeah.
don't you give the top bit back? Give them back their hat.
I don't know. Funnily enough, these decisions aren't up to me. Which is probably for
But
the best.
so what happened to India? Why'd you guys? What happened?
I don't know. You've asked me that 4 times. I
But
still
feel
don't know.
like
I know what
that wasn't
happened to
something that was
America.
taught, like in history class.
I don't think that English history mentions much about the countries that we lost.
But I don't
But
think
for
you lost it.
example-
I felt like you gave it back.
I don't know. But
I'm sure you guys go really in depth on
People-
Canada though, since you kept them.
people get really annoyed with me when I
No
don't
one goes in
know
depth on Canada.
historical moments in American history.
What does that
Like-
do with America?
No, I know.
England
but
losing India. America, we
this is separate now. But people get annoyed. You know, they talk about the Boston Tea Party. It's like, yeah, Boston Tea Party. You know all that stuff. It's like, funnily enough, we don't get taught that in England.
Funnily enough, Gavin doesn't know everything about tea. Only a little bit.
Do you know?
American history is it's like we brush over that in history.
I mean, one of the things you must touch on though is the American Revolution, right? You must touch on it.
I don't remember any of that. It was all. I would rather have known about that, but it was all Tudors and Stuarts and Henry VIII and some.
So what do
wines
you
getting
do?
their head cut.
You do this thing where you say, okay, so we discovered a new part of the world, we completely colonized it, right? Fuck all that. We're not going to cover that anymore. You don't even touch on the
Because
like
it's
going
not
away.
us anymore.
What's that?
It's not us anymore.
So you just drop it one day. You're like one day you're talking about it, and then you stop talking about it in history class. You just don't ever cover it ever again.
I just learned about English history, and boy, is that boring. I mean, there's probably some interesting stuff.
You know
but
what
the
is-
Battle of 1066, I don't even know what people look like in 1066. They're probably hunched over and like, you know.
Battle of 10.
They would have looked remarkably different, right? Like if you just plucked somebody out of 400 AD
Yeah.
and sat them here on the couch in normal clothes, cleaned their hair, got the lice off of them, plopped them down, we'd still be able to tell who it was, right?
They
Like,
just
who's that
redraw
tiny
it.
person sitting over
They-
there?
would they? Is that what they would look
My
like?
name is Barbara, guys.
Because that's the thing where you can see all these old Victorian houses and stuff in England, or even older than that, and the door frames are like this high because people were small then. And that was only a few hundred years ago.
How tall do you think people are going to be in like 1,000 years?
20 feet.
I'll go 19.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go right under Gus. I'm playing the prices right here. 1 foot.
But if they're over 20, if they're 25 feet, this
$1.
guy.
Yeah, you've got it. So yeah, that's something to consider too. Like we study American history. American history, they kind of start at 1492.
Yeah, but then they glaze over a huge chunk of it.
A big chunk, and then we're a country, and that's it. His country, they got to go back to like Stonehenge.
Why
Like they don't even
Stonehenge?
know where their country starts. Really, that's prehistoric.
When did your country start?
Right at the beginning.
Right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, really, like when day one of UK history, you sit down, you open the book to page 1. What's on page 1?
Well,
The Big
What's
Bang.
on page 1 of the American history book? What would it be?
Christopher Columbus.
Christopher Columbus. There you
Why,
go.
well, okay, so then correlating, coming off your question a little bit, why is England called England?
English land.
Angland.
Because of Anglo-Saxons.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's
I'm just curious, like,
Anglo-Saxon
I mean, is that how old it
Anglo-Saxon
is?
land, yeah.
Wasn't Columbus didn't he do genocide or something?
Didn't he do genocide? You can use genocide as a verb. He genocided.
Aw.
Commit genocide?
Did he do genocide?
I did
No,
love genocide.
like I don't think one dude in a ship could commit
Didn't
genocide.
he order the deaths of a bunch of people?
I think that people attribute him as being responsible for introducing Europeans to North America,
Which
who
led to
then-
that.
Who then, yeah, did
I'm
horrible,
pretty sure there's.
horrible things.
I'm pretty sure he slaughtered
That
tens
dude,
of thousands of
he
people.
got off the ship with a big sword and just started hacking people to death.
Is it possible, like back then, for one person to have committed genocide?
No.
Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like he couldn't have shown up and killed like thousands of people.
But there
or
were less
anything.
people then, so I imagine the classification for genocide was way lower. It could have been like 10 people.
So Jack the Ripper conceivably has committed genocide.
That's what's amazing to me about like the Game of Thrones era, even though I know it's not a real time in history, is that everyone was like dead even. Like everybody had the exact same technology. Everybody had horses and swords and metal suits, and that was pretty much it. Like a crossbow really sets you apart.
Yeah.
And that was it.
And then someone shows up with dragons and fuck.
Yeah, then somebody shows up with dragons and everybody's fucked. Spoiler, by the way. Spoiler cast.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I never thought about that as like trying to figure out a point in time when England didn't exist. I wonder like what are other countries that existed at the same time that still exist now, if any? Like did France exist all the way back then?
Well, they all existed, right? But did the countries, like, what's the day one of France, right?
Yeah. Day one of France is probably the day one of England, like, because they hated each other instantly, right? It's like people across the channel like, fuck those guys. We're making our own country over here.
So by day one, do you mean when humans set foot on the land?
Just like when France can be considered France. Like, America existed as long as France has. The
you-
landmass has.
Do you think there were a bunch of people sat there in berets eating baguettes and they were like,
Berets.
we got a thing going on
We
here.
got a thing. You
This
and me
is
together.
now a thing called France.
I think they knew they were French the moment they were like, fuck everybody else. Like, somebody came to visit them and they treated them like shit for not speaking their language. That was it. That's when they knew they had France. They were on to something.
But I'm pretty sure it's widely known that Columbus was a giant piece of arsehole.
What?
Wasn't he?
Why would you say that? He's your countryman, right?
No, he wasn't English. He was Italian.
Yeah, Gavin's Italian.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
There you go.
Yeah.
But he was Italian. He was Italian, but sailing for Spain.
Portugal.
So, but wait.
For Portugal? We got discovered by Portugal?
Yeah.
I thought it was Spain.
But wait, who
No,
was?
was it Spain? I thought it was Portugal.
What
Pretty
was,
sure
the,
it's
what was
Spain,
the name
yeah.
of the guy who named America, or is named after him?
America
Amerigo.
Vespucci?
Vespucci.
Vespucci.
And,
Yeah.
and when was he?
I don't know.
What?
Was he before Columbus?
He's right around.
Yeah.
No,
He was a map maker, right?
yeah, I think he was
That's
a little
fucking
after.
brilliant, dude. That's a good gig. You just
So,
name
so
shit
someone
for
finds a big
yourself.
piece of land and then he just goes, oh, I'll make the map. I got it.
Yeah.
And then he just calls it after his own
North
name.
America and South America. That'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah, back then you
Wow.
could.
And then you zoom out to the whole globe and he's like, I got a pretty decent chunk
Yeah.
of it.
Well, now think about it. Like if you're an astronomer and you discover planets and systems, you
Yeah.
can name all of them after you.
It's true.
There's Gus 1, there's Gus 2, there's Gus 3.
Isn't there some sort of like gift you could give someone where you name a planet after them?
A
The
star.
Star.
Yeah,
but that's
sorry.
a lot
His
of-
name is Star.
Not a planet.
That's a
Sorry.
lot of horse crap.
Well,
isn't
there's also a service where the UN made a declaration at some point that once the US landed on the moon, that they made a declaration that no Earth country can declare sovereignty over the moon. Meaning that US went up a planet flag based on the old rules of imperialism. We could say, that's our planet. That's our planetoid. We're on the moon first. We claim the moon for America. It's an American territory. But the UN all agreed that no, we're not going to claim the moon as sovereignty of any one nation. But a dude noticed that no nation can claim sovereignty over it, but this guy said he owns the moon. And there's a guy who says he has a legal claim to owning the moon, and he has a company now where he sells plots on the moon, like huge land packages on the
Yeah.
moon.
I
for,
know
like
it's-
next to nothing
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can buy like a giant tract of land.
on the
On
moon.
the moon.
But that's a little
And
crap, though,
companies
isn't
have done
You
it.
What do they put something there, or is just like you own this
What would
area?
they put there, Barbara?
Like a little, mark when they
How
go
many
in.
times do I have to tell people nobody goes to the moon anymore? I feel like I've said this 5 fucking weeks in a row.
People are gonna
Nobody
go.
goes to the moon.
I haven't
Going
been
back
on
to the
the podcast.
moon.
At
Nah.
some point, the reason you buy it, at some point in the future, maybe there will be stuff up there and you'll own it.
Okay, I'll rephrase it. Will they put something on there, like a little flag or a little like
I
marker?
want to buy the piece of the moon.
Do you want me to call
Apple
Pepsi and ask them?
I
don't
do.
know.
I don't know.
Yes.
It's a good question. They wouldn't put like an American flag because that would violate the UN rules, and then you could lose your plot of land on the fucking moon.
Does Earth have a flag?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, it does.
What is it?
It does. It's like 7 like circles. It's like the.
Of hell?
Yeah, I think there is an Earth flag.
I would just like it to be a flag with a picture of the Earth on it.
I'm gonna send
But
this
see,
to
the
Brandon.
problem with that is, I thought about that, is like what side of the Earth do
Well,
you
then they just
show?
do it like the one on the map where it's like this, and it's all
Right. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
well, yeah, of course, the Western Hemisphere is on the Earth flag.
What are you looking up?
I looked up the Earth flag.
It's going to be some
I would have
environmentalist.
sent it to Brandon just to put it up there. All right, hold on a second.
So if you look up,
Don't look it up. Don't look it
Okay.
up. We're gonna put it up on the monitor. I'll send it to Brandon.
I'm excited.
Yeah,
The
me too.
fucking Earth flag. Can I look it up there?
yeah, you can look it up there.
The keyboard doesn't seem to be working.
No, it doesn't. Damn it. All right, hold on. It's gonna take a second. Brandon, I'm gonna send this to you via email.
I'm going to try and buy the piece of the moon that Apple wants later, because they buy people's land for like 10 times what it's worth.
How are you going to know what piece of moon land that Apple's going to want later?
Just look, just study it. See what?
What does that mean?
I don't know.
You don't know. That's right.
Well, they're probably okay. On Earth, they want to build that giant UFO-looking thing.
Yeah.
So I'll pick the land that looks most like that.
Maybe their plan is long-term to install rockets on that thing and fucking
just
fire
put
it
it on-
straight up to the moon. They're like, well, we already have the spaceship campus built down here.
Brian, you can tell us what you have already. I gotta find out how this thing was designed. This is on Wikipedia. Flag of the Earth is a flag used to represent Earth. It is the World Peace Flag, the Earth Day flag, a flag designed for the first Earth Day. This is the.
So it's a hippie thing.
This is Earth's flag, if we can find it. Brandon, when you guys get that available.
Yeah, it'll take them a minute to get
It'll
there.
take a minute,
So
okay.
I looked at some of the other flags that were listed in there. I don't know if you scrolled all the way down, but they have the Earth flag from Futurama listed in there as an alternate Earth flag.
What?
Yeah, scroll down to the bottom of that article. They have Old Freebie from the Futurama, which is like the Earth flag, which looks like the American flag, but with Earth instead of the stars up in the blue.
Oh, how patriotic.
Yeah.
God. You know, Futurama is now. Oh, I see it here. Old freebie, yeah. So Futurama is now on its last season, and nobody gives a shit.
I thought we've done like 4 last seasons already, haven't we?
I know, right? That's the thing. I think like Family Guy set a weird tone for when it came back and was successful, and has gone on to be a long-running show
Yeah.
after they brought it back. But now it's like everything comes back. Like honestly, everyone was so goddamn excited about Arrested Development coming back, and nobody cares. Like 4 minutes after it came out, nobody gives a shit. I haven't heard anybody talk about Arrested Development.
I talked about it. I told an embarrassing story in a podcast you weren't in.
No, I probably
So,
didn't hear it then.
I'll tell it real fast.
Okay.
So, Arrested Development came out. I had my iPad. I was like, oh, the new season of Arrested Development's out. I'm going to watch this. So I go Netflix, Arrested Development. They have like a whole landing page for it. There's a button on it that says Arrested Development, new season, watch now. It's like, great, watch now. Started watching. I was like, oh, that's weird. They went back with the Charlize Theron character in Wee Britain. Man, they just picked it up like nothing happened. Like they're not even acknowledging the break. Man, this looks just like I remember it looking at the time. How does everyone look exactly the same? Oh, Netflix restarted Arrested Development in the middle of season 3, where like the last episode I watched
So
was.
you were doing what I said with Mass Effect, where I like could
I
pick it
watched
up.
the first 15 minutes of an episode I'd already seen, and I was so embarrassed I closed my iPad and I haven't gone back and watched the new season.
I don't blame you at all.
Embarrassed from yourself.
I was embarrassed from the iPad. Like the app knows that I watched the wrong season.
Okay, so Gavin
I
asked.
can imagine.
Gavin asked, does the Earth have a flag? And we looked it up on Wikipedia to see what the Earth flag is. And the flag that I found, it looks like something that if they said, Gavin, we need you to make a flag for Earth to represent Earth. This is the flag. It's just a blue flag with a fucking Earth on it.
I was making a joke, and that's the actual one that's there.
That's what it looks like. That's the Wikipedia entry for Earth's flag.
That
It's
is
just a
shocking.
blue square with the Earth in the middle of it.
Also, Southeastern Hemisphere? Talk about the worst hemisphere.
Is that what they put on there?
Yeah, fucking east of Africa and like the Indian Ocean. Why that one? Everyone knows Northwestern Hemisphere is where it's at.
You know, I was talking to somebody. We were out at E3, and a bunch of people came up from Australia, and they came up like that. Gavin was challenging me to have an entire podcast where I don't move my hands. What was it? Or my feet?
Or your arms.
Just your hands, because hand gestures are
Maybe if I
mental.
can move my hands, but not my arms. I
We could like tape you down.
Fabulous.
Fabulous.
There's a piece of the brain controlling that, right?
What?
I just did this. There's a part of my brain.
No, there is no piece of your brain that controls that.
But I mean, I'm not consciously doing that. I didn't think I'm gonna say this, and when I do it, I'm gonna lift up my hand and do that.
Sure, it's all tied together. You bounce your leg more than any person on the planet. I hate to point it out.
I have restless leg syndrome.
No one will ever be
Stop
able to
using that as
unsee
an
it.
excuse.
You do not have restless leg syndrome.
My legs.
That
You
doesn't
should see
exist.
me in bed. It's like I'm running.
I'd like to see you in bed.
You ever seen that dog? The dog that like runs in its sleep?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
love
it's
that.
streaming.
I love it. Yeah, but your body shuts down so that you don't act your dreams out, like punch shit or like run in your sleep. And there's some people, and I have had this in my life, where you wake up, but your body doesn't unparalyze itself. And you have what's called sleep paralysis, and you're just sitting there paralyzed in bed.
And like
I've had that like 2 or 3 times in my life.
after waking up from a dream, or just
No,
when you wake up?
just when you wake up, and you just can't move. You just literally can't move.
If you
That's fucked up.
sleep upside down,
Go ahead.
do you dream upside down?
What does that mean?
Like, would you be upside
Like
down in the
hanging
dream?
upside down?
That's a
Yeah.
total Google or Gavin question.
If you were
If
just
you
hanging by your legs.
If you slept upside down.
Yeah. Because I was wondering if astronauts, do they have floaty dreams because they're not affected by gravity?
Let's look that up.
They might have floaty dreams because they're fucking astronauts that think about space a lot. How about that?
Do they have floaty dreams?
I'm gonna see if Gavin matches up with this. If you sleep upside down, that people just want to know if you die if you sleep upside down.
So you're talking
the
about
blood-
like
I always heard that too. If you hang
suspended
upside
from your
down, you'll
ankles.
die.
Yeah.
Well, the blood rushes to your head. I don't know if you'll die like right away, but I don't think you could stay like that.
Most
for
of the
very long.
blood in your body is already in your head.
Bud Dwyer taught me that.
We can't
Yeah.
link that though.
Yeah. Like
Do not Google
your
that.
head holds an enormous amount of blood.
It was like
I don't want to think about that right now.
it was like
Okay,
a
sure, okay.
tap.
It was
don't
like
wanna-
going to a soda fountain and like.
All right. Don't look up what Gus is talking about, please. You'll be better off if you don't. What were we talking about right before that?
Earth flag.
Yeah. That fucking Earth flag.
Well, before,
Involuntary
I
before
want to copy that from my wall.
we talk about being paralyzed when you wake up.
So do
Nah,
you
it was
think
before that. We got off on a tangent. Somebody on Twitter will
Diplomats
tell me.
in space, like they have the little flags in front of their cars, like they'd put that in the spaceship, like the little Earth flag, like flapping.
Why would it flap in space?
I guess not. It would just be suspended.
Yeah.
That always strikes me as so odd. Like, is that a real thing? I always see that like in movies, obviously, and TV shows, where it's like a diplomatic car and it's got the little flagpoles with the tiny little flags. Do diplomat cars actually have those flags?
think
Is
so.
that a real thing?
Well,
so.
and where do
JFK
they
had
get
them.
those flags?
The diplomat store?
JFK had him on the car he was bipped in.
Did he?
Yeah.
That's not the part of the video I concentrate on.
What are you talking about? Who did what?
JFK got killed.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
We're talking about the little flags on diplomat
No,
cars.
I know.
That was actually the one piece of American history I did learn at school.
What did JFK
What did you
get
learn
shot?
about that?
That he got done in by a gun.
By who?
Well, everyone says Lee Harvey Oswald, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
But-
some people say no.
But then I watched The Watchmen and the comedian did it, so I'm really confused.
That can be confusing. That can be very confusing. What do you think is like the most important event in American history? from your
9/11.
perspective? 9/11, really?
What, you
Okay.
mean like in the history of the country's making?
No, just in the history of the country. Most important event.
Say 9/11.
Say 9/11?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's mental.
fair enough. What do you think is the most important event in the history of Canada?
The invention of syrup?
When they
I'm
tapped
pretty
the
sure
first-
syrup predates Canada.
Does it?
Yeah,
Without
Canada
sound-
only came around like 1860, you said, right? Or 1870?
1867.
What
Yeah.
do you think is the most important event in Canadian history? Like, what stands out when I say that? Canada Day, Gus. What is the most
Well, 24
recognizable
years ago.
event?
All I think about when it comes to Canadian history is like Quebec separatists.
Really?
I can't think of.
Jim Carrey.
I know there's a dude who ran across the country and then died. That's something I know.
I don't even know that.
You don't know that?
No.
You know that?
No.
The dude-
Canada's fucking big though, so I could understand that.
No, he was dying and then he ran. He did a thing.
No,
it was like
I thought
it was
he
like an
died
event
because
where
he ran
Well,
across.
so he
Yeah.
found out he was dying and then he thought, let's see how far I can run before I die.
Croak.
I know he was like he was running to raise awareness for something.
For his
and
death.
He ran across the country and he died. Or maybe he was raising awareness for Canadian history. I don't know what it was. Didn't
lot
work
of
on any of
people-
us
Well,
apparently.
apparently, yeah, it didn't work.
A lot of people have died in barrels.
Terry Fox.
Terry Fox.
I didn't know that. Twitter told me that.
A lot of people have died in barrels. Why do you say that?
Going
Terry
over
Fox.
Niagara Falls.
Oh.
I
How
grew
many
up.
people? I don't think it's that many, is it? I think it's more than
People seem
20.
to get in barrels a lot.
Where do these people get these barrels?
I don't think
That's
they. I don't
another
think
question.
they get in the barrels to die. A lot of people
No.
commit suicide in Niagara Falls. A lot of people get in barrels to try to go over the falls and
Over.
live, and then they don't.
Do you know
Why
there's
do
been-
they? Why is it a barrel? Like,
I don't know.
why don't they just get in the water? Why do they think if I get in the barrel, this might work? Like, why is that
They
an
played
iconic?
too much Star Fox. And
image.
They want to do a barrel roll.
It'll
Shut
protect you.
Because if you clipped yourself on a rock, it might really hurt. If a barrel clips it, you'll be all right.
Well, it's,
Yeah, what about the second rock? Like, it knocks one,
if you
maybe.
go down the Niagara Falls, you're pretty much dead.
Do you know that that thing is frozen completely before?
I think I've seen pictures of that. Yeah.
Crazy.
Have you ever been there?
I went there once. I was up in Toronto in January.
So you're on the Canadian side of Niagara Falls.
And I thought, oh, Niagara Falls isn't that far away. I'm going to go down there in January. So I drive down there. I get out of my car, walk up to Niagara Falls, and instantly think, this is a huge fucking mistake because there's mist everywhere, and it's
Yeah.
like
Yep.
35 degrees. It's like barely above freezing.
Did you go on
Yeah.
Maid of the Mist?
No, I don't even think it runs in January.
Probably not. It's too cold.
I went on that thing. You get wet.
Yeah, you do.
It was fun though.
Made it
It's
in the
really
mist.
impressive to see.
Yeah.
Like it seems like a kind of an old-time hokey thing to go and see.
It's one of those things where, like, you know, when you go to historical places, you're just like, oh, cool, that's nice. But the Niagara Falls are actually like, it takes your breath away almost. It's
What was-
so
what- what-
extreme.
It also moves. It does.
What are you talking
The
about?
force of the water going over the cliff, it erodes back, and it like the falls have moved upriver over the years.
That makes sense.
I grew up about. I was born. I don't say grew up. I was born about 90 minutes away from Niagara.
And where were the falls when you were born?
What's that? They were at my house. I was born at the Cedar Falls.
That'd
His
be
parents
crazy.
put him in a barrel.
The most
and
disappointing
shoved
thing
him.
about Niagara Falls to me was what was on the land. Like all those cheap, shitty tourist traps.
Yeah, it's like a
That's
little
all
mini
fine.
Las
it's a-
Vegas,
It's a
No,
dump
no,
hole.
it is not. It is like,
but in a bad way. Like there's some
it is like
casinos.
It's like scraggy old flats and stuff,
terrible.
and motels. What is the most meh landmark you've ever seen? For me, it's definitely Stonehenge.
What do you think? What do you think? Oh, it is.
I've
Yeah,
never seen
Just like wildly overrated.
Yeah,
kind of a
I
thing?
mean, you get up to it and it's like, it's rocks in the ground.
I think
But
it's-
it's right next to a motorway and there's just cars streaming, because they always photograph it from one angle.
Right.
Yeah.
Against the field.
We talked
Literally
about
like,
that on one of the first podcasts, didn't we?
With the pyramids.
The
Yeah.
pyramids and the Sphinx. It's like you only see the pyramid from one angle, and it looks like it's in the middle of the desert. But then when you turn around, it's just a bunch of shitty houses and a KFC.
It was a Pizza Hut, wasn't it?
Pizza
Yeah, that's
Hut.
that's the video we linked, because you see the pyramids and everything, and then it zooms back, and you see that it's people sitting in a Pizza Hut eating, and they're filming the pyramids and the Sphinx
Oh
from the
my
fucking
God.
Pizza Hut.
Yeah, it's crazy. That does not work. The computer.
The keyboard wasn't trying. I was trying to tweet because we're logged into Jack's account and I couldn't type anything.
you want to tweet as Jack?
Yeah,
Why?
because we're logged into his account and we should take
I want
advantage
to tweet
of
as
it.
Jack.
Hey, hard-hitting question.
Go for it.
Are you guys still located in Austin?
No.
Are we?
I want to say yes.
Yes, we absolutely are.
Are you sure?
So
We should
Terry
probably
Fox-
clarify again. This is Monday. RTX is this weekend. We are not doing tours this week for anyone coming in town for RTX because we have 8,000 people at least coming in town for RTX.
Yeah.
So if you come to the office, even though we say we're not giving tours, you're going to be one of probably about 100 people that does that. You're going to be disappointed. And we're sorry. We're sorry. We would love to give you a tour, but we just have no time this week. And we would definitely have no time with everyone who's coming in to do
And
it.
Yeah,
also-
most people will be at the convention center tomorrow.
Yeah. You're going to
Working.
see us at the convention center.
Yeah, come help.
So apparently,
No, don't.
I
where
should
was
have
it?
said that.
Terry Fox Day is a huge thing in Canadian schools.
Yeah.
He ran from the East Coast to Thunder Bay on
How
one
come you
leg.
didn't know it?
It's Terry Fox.
You had no idea what I
Yeah,
was
now
talking
you
about.
know it because we
know,
fucking said it
I'm
twice.
bad with names.
You're bad with names, but I said what the guy did, and you didn't know what it was.
Yeah, I couldn't remember his name.
Okay. No, you said you never heard of it. When I said it, you said you'd never heard of it.
Well, that's because I thought you said that he ran across the country and died. Like,
he did. What did he do?
I mean, like, because he ran across the country.
Oh. Come on, how did you
I've
get
never
that
heard
confused?
of
So he had one leg.
Yeah.
What's the story here?
I don't know. I don't know the details. I'm a bad
Oh,
Canadian.
She's embarrassed because it's Canadian Day, and she doesn't want
Canadian Day?
Canadian Day, and she doesn't want to be called out on the Terry Fox thing.
Okay.
But he was a guy who had cancer, and he ran across the country and showed the perseverance of the Canadian spirit, and then he died.
Well, Forrest Gump did it too, and he lived.
Oh, well, he's fictional though.
How far can a human run before it just breaks?
Apparently across Canada.
I saw a damn video online where a guy got a treadmill up to 25 miles an hour and was running on it. Not for long, for like 20 seconds, but it was fucking amazing.
How fast does
I feel
Usain
like-
Bolt run? Like when he runs the 100-meter or 100
I would imagine
yard?
he runs like 25 miles an hour.
I feel
like-
like I could stay on a 25-mile-an-hour treadmill for
Oh.
at least 10 seconds.
No. You could.
I bet he could, Gus. I bet he could. I bet
No,
he could
I'd-
do
How
it.
much you want to bet you could?
It'd be, it's like a cheetah. Cheetahs can run fast, but only for a little bit. 10 seconds, I got it in the bag.
Cheetahs are fast animals. Gavins are not that fast. They're not fast at all.
No, I think I could do it.
Do you know how fast that is?
25?
Running at like a 6 mile is impressive.
Running at 6 miles.
Like 6
6 miles an hour is pretty. No, it's not impressive in a sprint. But
Not a sprint, but
12
like,
miles an hour, good clip.
Yeah.
15 miles an hour is a good.
I
heavy
would be
sprint.
satisfied if I could get up to 12.
Yeah.
I would be like, I'm fucking
I'll,
joining.
I'll put you on a 10. I mean, I got a machine at home that'll do
Well, I
10.
can start by holding it, right?
Yeah, this
Or is
guy
it
got
literally
the
gonna be-
belt up to speed, and then he did this weird thing where he's standing next to it and hitting it with his foot. We got to see if these videos
You're
work.
gonna hurt yourself if you do this.
And then he
Film
did
it. I'm okay with it.
Cool.
Here, while you're looking that up,
Yeah, I'm gonna try that.
I'm going to read this while you're looking that up. I want to remind everyone this podcast is brought to you by. So, did you find that video?
No, I'm looking up now, but I got to get the keyboard working. Number lock. was on.
So, you all use miles per hour in the UK as well, right?
Yeah.
How, like, can you think of a place? Oh, you don't drive.
I've been in cars, though.
So, what kind of place
Yeah,
do you
that's
drive where a speed limit might be 25 miles an hour?
A residential area.
Residential area.
Or a turn.
So, you watch
All right, I
you
got it
watch
here.
cars driving down the street and you think, I can do that?
Well, I know that at 30 miles an hour, a car will hit someone enough to bounce them into the air.
Here
All
you
right,
go.
we're going to watch this.
All right, you want to watch this?
Yeah.
Brandon, we
Do
can.
it.
what are we
All right,
seeing
here we
here?
go.
So this is the dude doing the thing with the fast running.
How many
the hell
miles
do I
per
hit
hour
play?
is he running?
25.
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
Gavin, you can do that. Look at Gavin's face. Look at. I want to see that again. Put it back up again, bro.
I mean,
I gotta
That
see that
is
again.
incredible.
That is insane.
Like, is that guy a professional sprinter?
Here he
Oh
goes.
my god.
You think you can do that?
that looks sped up. The amount of time, because he's like getting ready, he's starting up one of his legs. But then from that to when he's full running is like one frame. How does he move that
I
fast?
have no idea.
I think it's sped up. I think that's bull.
How do you go? Now, granted,
So you think you can do that for 10 seconds?
Love
give
to-
it a damn try.
love to see
Even
try.
if I didn't, I'd probably flip right over and land on my legs and just keep going.
let's put it this way.
I got you.
When you fucked
From
up
Flipper
and you
style.
fell, it would be the equivalent of like jumping out of a 25-mile-an-hour car, because you would shoot off the back of that
You'd
belt.
go backwards.
What?
You'd go backwards.
Yeah, you would. Good job, Gavin. You
No,
would
no,
go
no.
backwards.
Oh no, you're right. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's like you'd be moving at 25 miles an hour coming off that belt. So it'd be like, would you jump out of a moving car at 25 miles an hour?
Yeah.
Would you jump out of a moving car at 25 miles an hour and run?
Yeah.
I would pay to see that.
Although it's not the same though.
Yeah, you would quickly decelerate.
Yeah.
No, I'll say this though too, is that it is not quite the same as running 25 miles an hour, because a treadmill is different. You can run faster on a treadmill because you're not really running, you're just keeping up with the belt. It's a little different.
You're not like pushing yourself off.
The belt is pushing your
Yeah.
feet back and you're just moving your feet forward, you know what I mean? It's different. It's not easy by any stretch of the imagination, but it is different.
I hate running on treadmill.
Do you?
Why?
Yeah. I
I'm-
prefer running outside or somewhere where it's just like.
But there's
Why?
more spring on a treadmill. It's like
Yeah, but it's so
Isn't it?
boring. And I
You
feel
should
like
do
I'm
what I
always
do
gonna
with
fall.
put the video game up.
Yeah, I have really bad balance though. So I feel like if I'm not concentrating, I'll just fall like fling right off of that.
You know what I did the other day? I was trying to figure out, like, do you ever try to figure out how you stand? You ever do that? Like, is my left leg shorter than my right leg? Or do I stand like, I find I stand on my right leg. I stand on it. And my left leg just kind of like hangs out and balances.
Doesn't
I
it
can tell
rotate
how
though?
I stand because all of my shoes wear the same way.
Yeah?
Like if after I've had a pair of shoes for months, these are new, so I can't show you. But this side, like the outside on both of them, just wears out. Like the inside here is fine. I walk on the outside of my foot apparently,
Are
because
you
that'll.
bow-legged?
I don't think so. That'll get worn away.
Just buy the same shoes over and over.
I
again.
buy the same shoes. These shoes, I could not find them for several months. They just they discontinued them randomly. They just came back online. I bought 3 pairs.
Oh, we had
Three
a.
pairs.
Yeah,
I don't
was
wanna-
like, I don't want to be in that situation again because my old pair, I needed to throw them away, but I couldn't buy new ones. So
When do your feet stop growing? Like, how old are you when they stop?
the last time I had a growth spurt, I was 13 or 14.
Okay.
And
Although I
that-
will say this, also my shoe size over my entire life, I don't ever really know it. I just measure it every time. And like I have different size shoes, as much as 2 sizes.
Really?
Yeah, between like 11 and a half and 13. So a size and a half is what I wear. It's
I
just-
never want to bother. I just always buy the same size. Well, I always buy the same shoe, so I know.
Same size?
So you
and
lean on the
Exactly.
same leg every time,
Yeah, pretty
and
much.
it doesn't rotate between legs.
I see. That's the thing. So it's one of those things about your body. Like, do I remember? Did I used to stand on my left or my right? Also, when I go to analyze it, it's one of those things that the moment you go to analyze it, you correct yourself.
And you
Yeah.
can't be natural. Yeah.
You can't be natural, right?
Well, I think there's a natural flip between both sides of your body with everything.
It just compensates. For
Well, like
itself, right?
nostrils.
Go ahead.
You only breathe through one nostril.
I'm doing my right now.
Me too.
You only breathe through one.
I'm using my left.
At any
Like
one
put your
time,
hand
you
in
only
front of your
breathe through
nose.
one.
One nostril will be blowing air.
But see, now you're self-conscious about it.
I'm
And
using
I
my
mean, you
right.
can force air down the other one. But I think if you check in like an hour, it'll be a different nostril.
That's so weird. I never knew that.
But- Still
I'm
one
not
of
sure
yours.
I'm not sure what does it.
Not somebody else's.
Your brain.
I'm breathing through Gavin's nostrils right now. There's a lot of them. So.
But do you think there's just like a nose flap pendulum up there, just like slowly moving?
I don't know. They probably have people who have studied that part of the
A
body. I'm
nose
pretty
flap
sure they would be able to
pendulum?
answer that question for you.
But it'd be funny to see a time, because like you see all the stuff your body does normally, but I'd like to see a time lapse of stuff that your body does slowly. Like if you x-rayed my head, would a nose flap be going like sped up?
Back and forth.
Yeah.
You want a time lapse X-ray?
Well, I think more importantly, like, what is the mechanism? What is it back there
That's
that
what he's
dictates
wondering.
it?
Well,
Yeah.
I'm really
Well, you
paranoid
said
about
that
my
it's a pendulum.
nostrils.
What's that?
I'm really paranoid now about my nostrils.
You know,
I
it's
feel
really
weird
bad too.
breathing
It's like when
now.
people tell you, like, you don't think about it, but it's like when you tell someone that now you're thinking about the size of your tongue in your mouth, then you can't stop thinking about that. And your tongue feels.
But like a knob time lapse would be good too.
No.
Like as you go through
Nope.
the day and temperature changes, it'd be interesting to see like your balls go like
Mine specifically?
Yeah, no, I mean, no, anyone's
The
balls.
royal you.
So is it true that testicles are external and they descend from the body because they can't stand
Yeah,
your internal body
It's
temperature?
temperature regulation, so when it's cold, your scrotum yanks the balls near your body
Yours
to warm them up.
specifically.
And when it's hot, they
They
get
hang
down.
loose to get away from the body heat.
What? Fuck, we were just talking about something. I'm losing all my trains of thought here. Hey, before we go too far,
I think we already did.
we had a user Ajax15 who contributed a new Earth Day flag for us. He updated it for us. Gavin, you might like this one better.
Okay, I'm waiting for it.
I'm gonna wish for it. There it goes. That's good.
That's
Then
really
everyone know that Earth.
That's beautiful.
I think it should have a little number 1 below it.
I think it should have an F instead of a TH.
Earth. You know, I read that they're gonna make another Independence Day, but Will Smith is not gonna be in it.
Yeah.
Well, then why make it?
I
They're making
agree with you
another
totally.
Independence
Why you
Jeff
make
Goldblum
it?
going to be
What's
in
it going to be about?
What's that?
So
Yeah,
we
how is there a
defeated the
sequel to
aliens.
that?
Earth is fucking blown to shit. The aliens come back with more people.
Right. Or they just hold this Independence Day in Canada and nobody knows why.
Or
they do it. They just
Earth
like, whatever.
invades them.
Earth invades
Whatever.
them.
Yeah. And
But
plants
then
that
that's
flag.
not independence, is it? That's subjugation.
That's Ender's Game.
Subjugation Day.
Well, there's a lot of sequels to movies where it's not
Why are there no
about-
subjugation days?
What's that?
Why are there no subjugation days? Like, why isn't the UK calendar filled with subjugation day?
Like
Why
the day
wasn't
that we
This is,
conquered your
this
ass?
is the day we conquered India. This is the day we conquered America. This
We
is
have
the day,
that. It's called Columbus Day.
True.
Yeah, the day we discovered America.
Fucking Texas
day is that?
Independence Day.
What's that?
What day is Columbus Day?
October 10th? November 10th?
Can we stop with the days, do you think?
No.
What do you mean?
There's enough of them now.
No, there are.
People keep doing stuff.
There are.
All right, when's the last time the holiday got added, though?
I don't know.
You're complaining about something that is a non-issue.
This Black History Month, that would be one of the most recent ones.
I guess so, but it's not like a day you. It's not. That's not like a holiday you get off for.
Cyber
I'm
Monday.
thinking about like that's not the fucking real.
Do you think we'll ever have a gay holiday?
Oh yeah, of course.
You think so?
Absolutely.
The day after May Day. Gay Day.
Gay Day, May Day,
Yeah.
then Gay Day?
Yeah. Perfect.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe.
No, I think gay people would fight too long about what day's better. They'd like,
It may not be in our lifetime, but I think it's got to happen.
like, can you imagine that? God, that would be like the longest, most drawn-out fight ever. Like, what day would you declare as yours? It's like
Well,
hot in the summer.
Well, there's already Pride Day, right? That just passed.
Yeah, the Warthog was in that in Seattle.
Seattle,
Did
yeah.
you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, like they did a big parade in Washington and Seattle, and
What
then
is
New York
going-
City too.
What is going on here at the moment?
What do you mean?
What's everyone in Texas going mental about? I can't
Oh,
keep
it's
up with it.
abortion. It's women's rights. There's an abortion bill in front of the Texas legislature, and it's very controversial. There's a lot of limitations, restrictions on it, and so when they were going to vote on it, a bunch of people went down to the Capitol, protested. One senator in particular did this kind of stand-in on the floor where she stood up the entire time. It was a filibuster.
Filibuster.
You know what a filibuster is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's where they basically kill time. And then the legislature's period ran out, the session ran out, but then there was all this really shady stuff that happened where they said they voted on the bill and they set the timestamp back.
Yeah, people had screenshots of the timestamp, like
As it
when
went
they
live,
first
and then-
added
yeah.
it, and then they took the screenshots after when they changed it, and everyone's just like, "Do you not know that people have the internet?"
Well, so I watched that live stream.
I don't like novelty Twitter accounts very much, but there's a great novelty Twitter account that came out of that, which is the Texas Legislature clock. It just writes, it's angry, and it writes in all capitals. Capitals like, "Come up here, call me a liar to my face, bitch." It's this really angry clock that's pissed at everybody for calling it a liar.
It's even better than the Big Ben.
It's really funny.
I thought you were gonna say
Bomb.
that at like 12 o'clock every day. It's like, nope, it's 11:58.
No, it's like- yeah.
Shut up.
This gives the wrong time. So I was watching that live stream, and I was struck by. I guess I shouldn't be surprised how low quality the camera they have for that is.
Yeah.
It was like you could only get a 360p stream.
It's gonna make RTX look awesome.
Yeah, and but there were like 200,000 people watching it
Yeah.
when that was
Whoa.
going on. I was
Yeah.
like, holy crap, that's more people than watch our thing.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, it was impressive, and I think the second special legislature started today, and
Yeah, it's a big
there were
protest
a
today.
whole bunch of people out in the Capitol.
Which I'm glad to see that the people are keeping with it, because it's it seems like everything in this country politically, whether you agree with it or not, it kind of get introduced and everybody goes ape shit. Everybody goes nuts, and then they're like, oh, never mind, and then it just comes back like a week later and it gets passed as something else. You know, everyone was all up in arms about SOPA and the internet, you know what I mean, and limitations of the internet. But then there's a bunch of spying on domestic people and like taking emails and cell phone calls and archiving. Nobody cares.
I feel like that was not as big a deal as it should be, and I think even we're guilty of that here on the podcast. We never really talked about it.
No, well, I was out of town when
Yeah.
it came up, but you know, we're not going to have any choice to talk about it because you hear what just happened. I think yesterday, the day before. Hold on, I'll get my exact numbers here. Oh, we got political on the podcast. We never do that.
It's true.
Hold on 1 second. So
That's why I'm steering us to prison.
Yeah.
But I think these are, these are definitely very topical issues. Things that are very,
What, abortion?
So here we go.
well, like the Senate bill and stuff like that.
The U.S. taps 500 million German phone internet links each month.
Yeah.
So they've been tapping Germany as well, the U.S. government.
What are they
So-
listening for?
I don't. Fuck. Who knows? Who knows?
So the person who revealed that is Edward Snowden, who's the guy who released the information about the PRISM program in the first place, right? And he is in limbo. He's in the Moscow airport, and he can't leave.
Oh, is that where he is? They know where he is?
Yeah, he's somewhere in the international terminal at the Moscow airport.
So it's the movie The Terminal.
Essentially.
In real life.
His U.S. passport has been revoked, and he's trying to get to Ecuador to seek asylum, but he can't get there since he has no passport.
Shit.
And if he leaves the airport, he runs the risk of getting arrested.
Ecuador should go get him.
I'd be so annoyed.
Just a little bit.
What do you mean?
Well, like we were talking about all the moon and all that and all the stars and stuff. But to be trapped on one piece of one planet was really annoying.
Especially an airport,
Yeah. Like you got the whole planet and you're locked in one room. But
especially
you're
a
not
Russian
really...
airport.
Well, he's trying to avoid being locked in one room.
Yeah.
That's what he's really trying to avoid. Well, that's like Bradley Manning went through the same thing. I mean, and he just disappeared into the prison system. Mm-hmm. You know, he was the guy who leaked everything during the Iraq and Afghanistan war, and everyone, it was the same kind of thing, in my opinion, as what Snowden was doing, just basically blowing the whistle on the government. And apparently, that does not happen these days. You go away for a long time.
So, and
Does anyone think Snowden is a traitor? Does anyone think that, like, that he put people in danger or anything like that?
that's what the government says.
But reporting that the government is spying on their citizens, does anyone say that? Like, I haven't heard that side of the argument by anybody.
I thought I heard that from the government, but I don't understand how that's the case. But maybe, but I didn't see specifically what he released. You know, I just know broad strokes that is released in the media, like whatever the media tells you. I haven't seen the actual specific data or information that he released.
Well, so people are writing like lots of weird shit about Prism, like that. You know, this company or that company has a contract with Prism. I mean, I'm sure lots of companies deal with the NSA even on a regular basis. You know, I'm sure that happens a lot. So some people are saying, yeah, they think Snowden is a traitor. Okay.
Interesting.
I'd like to know why, other than whatever 440 characters will allow you to say. But I'm curious about
Yeah,
that.
that's a hard message to convey.
And then a lot of people saying
via
stop
Twitter.
talking about politics.
Oh, really?
Back, head in the sand. Gavin, you want to take us out of politics?
I was actually just thinking about toothpaste.
Were you?
Yeah.
What
There
kind
you
of
go.
toothpaste?
It's a perfect
Why-
segue.
why-
Because toothpaste is like nothing else in that your tongue learns to get used to flavors, right? When you eat food.
Yeah.
Toothpaste is always weird though. As soon as you change toothpaste, the first time you brush your teeth with that new toothpaste,
As soon as you tooth taste.
it's like, God, this new toothpaste is so weird. The next time, it's absolutely fine. It takes one go at a new flavor of toothpaste before you're used to it.
Never have noticed what you're talking about.
You've never brushed your teeth with different toothpaste and been like,
I actually know what he's talking about.
That you would use a
This
different
is a
toothpaste and freak out.
first. Yeah, at first you're not used to the taste,
Yeah.
but then it's like you could anticipate it the next time you brush your
Toothpaste
teeth. So
is
you,
toothpaste.
No, you're
No,
full
but
of
I
crap.
know what he's talking about.
I'm not full of
Also,
crap.
I tend
Now
to buy
I know I've gone
I do
crazy.
tend to buy the same toothpaste.
Well, there you go.
Well, don't you? Are you just like, oh, this month I'm going for orange,
I don't-
Aquafresh?
I think I change toothpaste every single time I buy toothpaste.
You probably don't know what toothpaste you have before.
I don't remember. Yeah.
Do you use all of your toothpaste, like all the way down the tube? Or
Yeah.
How do you squeeze your toothpaste? Do you just grab it and squeeze it, or do you start from the back and work your way up?
I mean, at the
Oh, please.
well, at the beginning, when
What are you all pleasing me for?
he would not. You think he's gonna take time to like?
No, well, that's the joy of a new tube of toothpaste. It's that it's like kind of a treat. It's like I can squeeze this anywhere and I'm gonna get toothpaste.
You get pleasure out of weird things.
Yeah, it's the small things,
That's the
isn't it?
joy of a new toothpaste.
No, but you wouldn't like tease the back when you got all that in the front.
Okay. I see you.
Yeah.
Sounds like a sexual conversation.
The fucking what?
Toothpaste also, why is it that I feel like toothpaste has a unique property in that If you get anything on your shirt, you're like, oh fuck, let me wipe that off. It goes
Yeah.
away. Toothpaste, you get it on your shirt, you got this giant white stain until you wash it.
You know, one of the most embarrassing conversations I ever had was one of the first times I ever spoke to you. Gus, I had deodorant on my shirt. You know, sometimes you'll get deodorant
That was
on
not
here?
one of the first times you spoke to me.
I had deodorant.
Why is that embarrassing?
Let him finish.
You know, it's like you had that little white thing because I put on deodorant and then either change shirts or put on the shirt after I put on deodorant. And I said that to Gus, like, oh, Gus is another human who lives in normal society. He's probably had this problem before.
I would be so
I
sure.
go, I go, look, I got deodorant on my shirt. I hate when I do that. I go, do you hate when you do that? And Gus goes, no, I never do that because I'm not fucking 12. And I was like, oh. I just like went back to work at my desk. It was the angriest I've ever seen anybody get about nothing at all. Look how happy you are about it, how mad you were. You were so offensive about it.
Because I don't understand that. I put my shirt on and then I put my deodorant on.
Yeah, but it's when you slide past the bit you just deodorize, isn't
I
it?
put my
You
shirt
put the
on
shirt
and
on
then
and
I
then-
put my deodorant on.
Oh yeah, I just didn't listen to what you said.
Yeah. That's painfully apparent.
But the other way is like you clip it on the way up, right?
right.
What you do is you fold the shirt from the bottom, so when you put it
Who
on,
has time for that? Who has time to fold the clothes that
I
way?
Yeah,
up?
actually,
bush
I
of the
actually
toothpaste in the
remember
middle.
this specific conversation. I know exactly where we were and exactly what was happening when we had the conversation. We were sharing the shittiest hotel room in Toronto at the first RVBTO.
Oh, right.
We were in Sarajevo, apparently.
It was like being in Sarajevo. It was like there was the
didn't you
shelled out
guys
building
hear
across the
a
road.
gunshot?
No, a dude got hit by a car. What? Yeah.
We were like, so we were in this hotel. It was shitty. Like,
Jeff booked
They
you,
were,
right?
yeah, Jeff booked us there. That's when I took over booking our travel. There were signs in the lobby everywhere that said no durian fruit, and that's where I learned what durian fruit was, which is stinky ass fruit. Anyway, so we get up to the
Weird
room,
sign to have in a hotel.
and you open up the curtains, and you look out, and across the street is like this. It looks like a bombed out, burnt out shell of a building. Like all the glass is gone from the windows, but there are people in there. And it's like, holy shit, there's like plywood on some of the windows.
It looks like something from like a zombie apocalypse movie.
Yeah.
That
and
building.
so we're looking at it, and then we look down in the street, and there's a dude crossing the street and just gets fucking hit by a car. And he like pops up and starts screaming at the guy in the car. And like, they get into a fight. Like, that's just a normal occurrence at this
Yep.
fucking shitball hotel.
Have you ever eaten a durian?
No.
Nor have I. I bet it smells as bad as or tastes as bad as it smells.
What the fuck is it? Is it like a fruit?
I have durians in my Animal Crossing town.
I heard that those are available in Animal Crossing. I dropped off. Animal Crossing had the same drop-off curve for me on the DS as it did on the GameCube, man. I got like a couple fish, I got all my fishing rods and shovels, and then I was like, I got nothing.
Yeah.
Like you can only like collect so many bells and build like a non-configurable house to such a level that you're like,
No,
okay.
you can figure it. Do you want to expand your upstairs, your main floor, or your basement?
Your basement? You have a basement?
Those
Yeah.
options.
No, well that's,
I'm
that's
back in.
fancy.
Well, I don't have
Yeah.
a basement yet, but
Yeah, now I'm hooked again.
Did you ever play The Sims?
Yeah, I did play The Sims for a little bit, but I went through the same thing that everybody does playing The Sims, where I'm like watching a little cartoon person work out and
Yeah.
their bar going up and going, what the fuck am I doing?
It's awful.
It
And
is.
especially bad because I grew up with The Sims. I was at school, and you can literally make a kid study. And you watch them get smarter and do better at school, and it's like, I'm getting worse at
I
school
should be
because I'm
doing
watching
this.
this is awful.
That little green bar that fills up, like that thermometer to their next level, I'm thinking, what does my green bar look like right now?
Going down.
And my little diamond is turning black.
I actually stopped playing The Sims because I didn't like what it was turning me into. Or I didn't like what it was making me realize I was.
Which was what?
Sicko.
Yeah?
I just burn people alive all the time.
Did you
I'd
really?
get bored, I'd get rid of the doors, I'd put wooden chairs around a fireplace, and I'd just put the entire family in there and just watch them all burn.
I would
And then I'd,
take
and
out
I'd
the
turn it off
ladders
and I'd
from
be like,
pools.
I imagine everyone does this. And then I asked all my friends, and they're like, no, we don't do that.
that was one of the first, like, I don't want to say production, but it's one of the first things that we did before Ugly Internet and Drunk
You
Gamers.
could probably
I think.
call it like our first machinima we ever did.
It was the still images, right?
Yeah.
We did a cartoon strip in Sims.
It's like a
yeah.
comic.
Yeah, I did one with Gus and Jeff living together in a house.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
Do you know that in The Sims, I'm not, I can't remember which one it was, but a certain plant would grow, but it would grow really slowly, and it ended up being like a beanstalk that went all the way up. But it would take hours and hours of real time, so like days and months in the game. But you could eventually climb it. And go
What
up
would
and-
happen?
It would take you to like a cloud or something where it'd be.
You're fucking insane.
I don't remember this
What are you
part of the
talking
game.
about?
I swear there was like a weird Easter egg where you couldn't modify this beanstalk in any way. It would just grow inconveniently.
I don't think
I'm
I've
looking
ever-
up scenes. I looked up beanstalk and it autocorrected to Brandstalk. Is that a thing? Beanstalk.
I also used to put people in the swimming pool and take away the stairs.
I
Yeah.
think everyone does that.
That's what I would do.
There is a beanstalk in Sims 1.
Oh, the first.
I even
Sims.
remember the cheat codes for Sims 1.
What is it?
It was like it was like some weird. I don't
So you remember it, but you don't.
Calapicus.
You remember any cheat
Nailed
codes from back in your day?
God, I feel like I have like bits and pieces of them. Of course, the Konami code, everyone remembers that. Remember the Mike Tyson code in Punch-Out started with like 007 something something. Metroid had the, what was the Justin something? I don't know, like these vague,
So what you're saying is you
Like
remember them
snippets.
perfectly.
no, God no.
So yeah, you can climb beanstalk and there's a giant sim up there.
A
That was it.
giant.
Oh,
Yeah.
There's a giant.
And a
That
huge
doesn't
can,
sound familiar.
a
I
huge
I don't know
can
why I
of
couldn't
beans.
think of a giant being up the top of a beanstalk.
Go
remember
figure.
one time when I was a kid, you're talking about like cheat code or codes and stuff from when you were young. One time when I was a kid, I had a sleepover at a friend's house, and he had The Legend of Zelda for the NES, and I did not have The Legend of Zelda.
Okay.
So I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna play Legend of Zelda non-stop. So like I just start playing Legend of Zelda, everyone else is having fun, everyone else goes to sleep, I'm playing Legend of Zelda. I play Legend of Zelda all fucking night. Dawn comes around, everyone else wakes up, and I get to a point where like, I finished it. I finished Legend of Zelda. I played for like fucking 14 hours or whatever, done.
Oh crap.
Like save the game, turn it off, like go join everyone else for breakfast. They're like, did you stay up all night, guys? Like, yeah, I beat Zelda. It was awesome. Like, bullshit, show us. So I go over and I turn the NES back on, and every save file's been deleted, including my friend
Whoa!
whose Zelda copy it is. I was like, he's like, what the fuck did you do? I was like, I swear I didn't touch any of the saves. I just played all night on my one save and saved it. They're like, I don't know what happened. And to this day, I think he's still pissed off at me that I
Seriously?
deleted his
I would
fucking
be.
Zelda
I would
save.
be.
I'd be livid.
I didn't
I
do
would definitely
anything. I
remember
just
that
played
as a
the
kid.
game.
Did you turn it off properly?
Yeah, you hold down reset and hit power. Just like it
Nice.
says.
You have any weird memories like that from childhood where you hurt somebody or fucked somebody's thing up?
I remember once I was playing Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo. That's the one, right? Mm-hmm. And it was creepy. Like, it was really foggy that day. And all the fog, in real life, the fog had come down and we couldn't see out any of the windows. It was really creepy looking. And then in Mario, we were running along, and all of a sudden he kind of like glitched and spun around, so he was running backwards and then slipped down through the floor and died. And we all screamed and turned it off and like ran and got under the covers because it was like, it felt like everything was haunted, even Mario. It was scary.
even Mario.
That's so stupid, dude. That's so stupid.
You have a dumb life. like, I thought it was dumb after we got to know you. It's been
We
dumb like
literally,
from
he
the
just,
beginning.
he went like, and we just lost, we just like, turn it off.
Because playing our game.
I was helping. I was staying at my friend Todd's house when I was a kid, like 6 or 7, and we were cleaning his room to go to dinner, and we were cleaning up really fast. And I didn't know this, but he was making a mobile of the solar system because this was before the internet and people were bored and shit. So that was a project I guess he was gonna do.
He was doing it for fun.
He was, I guess, he's making a mobile of the solar system. He must have been for fun.
Wow.
What, for
Because
a little
I
brother or
found,
something?
you know the yellow styrofoam that only like chicken comes in, that stuff. You know, so he had the sun cut out of that, and I picked up this styrofoam yellow disc, and I looked. I said, "Oh, this is trash." And so I snapped it in half, snapped his son in half, and he fucking lost. Todd lost his shit, dude, over the fact that I broke the sun from his mobile that he was about to make. And then I felt terrible about it. But then he cried like a bitch for like 30 minutes over it. I was like, even at like 6, I was like, dude, chill the fuck out, dude.
Just make another one.
Go get some more chicken, bitch. I can make another.
Also, what's wrong with you? Why you gotta break it before you throw it away?
I'm a kid. You want to snap shit, you know?
I like the fact that in your-
he's burning Sims to death in the fireplace. I snapped a piece of trash in half, and I'm the fucking I'm
always-
Hitler
You're a
of
monster.
Rochester, New York,
I
apparently.
love memories of being a kid because you can remember yourself, you can remember the moment in your head. But I never apply myself into like the smaller kid body when I think about it. So like if I were you, I'd be thinking about, where's this guy being a little bitch crying? But you can, it's just so funny when you imagine 2 tiny 6-year-olds and you're like, hey, come on, what are you doing?
Cut the shit, dude. Let's go.
Yeah.
I would say, well, we couldn't even go play Nintendo because it didn't exist. Let's go outside and ride bikes.
Let's go look at the real solar system through a telescope.
Let's go stare at the sun.
God. I think I've told a story on the podcast before, but I used to have sun staring contests when I was in first grade.
Yeah,
What?
you told me this before.
Yeah.
You won.
Oh,
I
you
won.
did too.
I won every time.
And
I
you
could
did all the
stare at
other
the sun
kids?
longer than anybody, huh?
You had all the other kids? Like around you? Like you would stare at the sun as a group?
We would wait in line for lunch.
Would there be someone monitoring like whose eyes are staying focused on the sun? Because like, couldn't you both just be looking and go like
Of course you could have. I was 7. Who knows?
Saying.
So
Cheater.
I looked at the sun one time, and there was a blue dot. You know, when you look at the sun, you have the blue dot in your
Yeah.
vision after that? So I had the blue dot, and my fucking older brother told me the blue dot will lead you to treasure. So I was...
I mean, once you've stopped looking.
I would stare at the fucking sun, and then look at the blue dot, and I really had an opinion in my mind that when the blue dot would disappear and I hadn't found the treasure yet, that I wasn't good enough at it, so I'd stare at the sun longer. My fucking mom comes out, looks at the window, and then I'm in the front yard, fucking half blind, like staggering after nothing, this imaginary blue dot that only I can see, and I'm like walking through the front yard going, wait. So my fucking brother again strikes again with
How
fucking
many
asshole.
moments of fucking did your brother have with your mind?
He was terrible.
Growing up.
He was a terrible individual to grow up with.
I'm glad that in my family I was an oldest sibling and I did not have an older sibling that I had to deal with like that.
Oh, he toughened me up big time, dude. Big time.
No,
So you both stared at the sun and now you both wear glasses.
Yep.
I remember in elementary school they told us never to look when there was an eclipse because they would tell all the kids that you would go blind if you stared at it.
Surely that's the one time you do want to look at the sun because it's not as bad.
But now
Well, apparently
I'm
it's
like,
worse.
it's ingrained in my mind of being terrified of eclipses of like, don't look at the sky, don't look up, you're
You're
gonna
not
go
supposed
blind.
to do it.
Yeah, I know, but it's like I'm not even like gonna glance at it now because I'm just terrified.
Can you watch it on TV or do you get scared seeing it on TV?
Oh no,
too?
that's cool.
How
Okay.
often are you just spontaneously interrupted by an eclipse?
Just once or twice a year. Whenever
What?
there's
you think
light.
eclipses are that common?
I don't even know.
Isn't it
Eclipses
once-
have to be pretty common.
Well,
Like
no,
where
I mean,
you live in one
Right.
place?
you can go and see eclipses all over the gaff if you travel a lot, but in the place you live, it's every more than 10 years, isn't it?
I don't know.
I don't think
mean,
there's a set schedule for it. Well,
What?
I'm sure people know when it's going to happen, but I don't think it's like
course there's a
every
schedule.
X number
It's
of
every
days.
couple
Yeah.
of years, right?
Well, why would it change?
I don't know. Position?
everything in the solar system, because of the rotation, is on a plane. Here we go to science. Here we go.
Uh-oh.
So the sun, the Earth, the moon, and the sun are all on the same plane, right?
Okay.
So I'm asking that
I
question.
think so.
So it's like, so the moon literally every 28 days when it goes around the Earth would cause an eclipse. It would block. It has
Right.
to. It
But
has to get
the
between,
Earth is also rotating, so it happens in a different place.
Right. That I get. That
Okay.
I get. But the solar eclipse does have to. It happens every 28
Somewhere.
days.
Does
Maybe
it?
not in Canada.
Oh, but it could be nighttime when that happens.
What? Why would
It could be
night?
nighttime when it crosses over.
Why would?
Right.
What?
What? So what about? But then equally though,
Wait,
a
could it?
lunar,
No,
a
the
lunar
Earth
could be
eclipse.
night.
Lunar
if
eclipse.
the-
No, never mind. It would be a lunar eclipse that would happen because the Earth would be in front of it.
Oh,
So
yeah,
the sun's
it's
out,
facing the
the
sun.
moon's in front of it, it's nighttime.
No, you're right. It's a lunar eclipse. It's the other.
It's
one of those
really
evil
dark all of
night
a sudden.
suns that comes out.
Night
Fucking
eclipse.
Gavin's correcting me.
Gavin always corrects
I
us.
gotta stop
How
with the science
often-
if that happens.
How
Yeah.
often do solar eclipses
At night.
occur at night? We'll remove all the night eclipses, solar eclipses for you. All right.
But it's on that plane though because the sun spins, doesn't it? Isn't that why everything's like that?
Yeah, because everything spins. Remember we showed that one graphic of
Yeah.
the way we always think of the planets like here's the sun, here's the planets, and they're all rotating around it. That's not all what the solar system looks like because the sun is going like this through the universe.
I love that image.
And it's basically like
I still don't know what that is in relation to.
what do you mean?
There's no fixed point in space. How can we
Everything's
measure
moving
that?
away from each other. It's all
So
relative.
what is that? If something's moving towards the sun, I guess in relation to that, the sun's moving that way. But really, it's not.
But the sun is moving itself. It is moving.
But where are you measuring that from?
From it's got a
another
vector. It's
fixed
just got a
point.
vector. It's moving in that direction.
How do you know? Why isn't everything else moving the other way?
Oh, you mean do you think our sun is the center of the universe and everything
I'm
else is
saying,
expanding this way?
What was that graphic? Well, what was its reference point for that?
Okay, so assume there's an origin point where everything exploded, chewy, and it
Yeah.
went all out like that, and we're all on that same pathway of heading out until we eventually, I guess gravity slows us down to the point where then we come and suck back in and smash again. So we're still heading out.
But that's
It's good to know.
But I don't think there is a point of I don't think they have that measured. Like, what is the center of the universe? That's never been determined.
I don't think we can see back to it.
So we've already come too far.
Or
Into this
spent
conversation,
too
I
long.
think, yeah, so far. But the graphic that we were showing was the sun rocketing through space. Gavin, you don't have to listen to this if you don't want to. Sun rocketing through space, and then basically all the planets rotating around it. Like, they look at it just like keeping up with this thing. Like, we're in orbit around a sun that's just like taking off through space.
But the only reason stuff orbits something else is because it's in a bowl, right?
What?
What?
It's
Oh, you're
like-
talking about that gravity is bent space?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And space and time are one item.
I'm gonna let that go.
And to keep light traveling at the same speed at all times, space has to adjust and time has to adjust.
I have no idea.
Well, light always travels at the same speed.
Right? What is that speed? Do you know?
617 million miles an hour or something.
It is,
Yep.
no, speed of light?
Or
I
600.
want to say it's like 171,000 kilometers a second.
I believe it's 186,000 miles per second.
Miles per second. Okay.
So what's that in miles an hour?
Oh, I couldn't do that.
That's a lot.
Multiply that times
600
360.
something.
And what was the deal? Like, we had a discussion one time on the podcast where they broke the speed of light, which is one of the constants in the universe, but then like a couple days later, they're like, nah, sorry.
Yeah, my bad.
It was,
Remember that?
it was one of those things where they, oh God, we're talking about science too much. It was one of those things where they create a super cool environment where things slow down, and I think they slow down the speed of light.
It is 299. No, wait.
Barbara can't read the number. It's
299,792,458 miles per second.
meters per second.
Meters per second. Sorry, not miles.
What is it in miles per hour?
So essentially, it is 300,000 kilometers an hour.
Okay.
A second, sorry. 300,000 kilometers per second.
Could you run that fast on a treadmill for 10 seconds?
Speed of light, that fast.
Think about it. So
How
if,
the fuck do they know that?
if it's 186,000 miles per second, you did that for 10 seconds, you go 1.8 million miles.
That'd be a long way.
What
do you mean, how do they know that?
I know how they know the speed of light. I'm actually thinking about, like, I got in my head, I moved on a step from that, where, like, the standard for, I think it's probably in the UK, the standard for all the weights and measurements, where they keep, like, the gram, right? And they have, this is what a gram is. And we
So
all,
do different companies have the thing?
no, I think there's aren't they all stored in one place?
Yeah, there's one.
So the same place that has the kilogram also
the gram.
has...
Oh, they're all in one place.
Where
They're
is
all
I
this
think
secure.
I think there is just a kilogram, and then they divide that by whatever to
Where
get
is
the,
this
the
place?
gram. I think it's in. I want to say it's in Colorado somewhere.
Oh, it's in Colorado?
Really?
I want the milligram.
Oh no, wait, no. It's in Switzerland, I think.
Where is the gram stored?
It's very different places.
Do they have to keep it in case?
Because I'm thinking of the National Atomic Clock for some reason. And yeah, it is in
This is
case.
like,
So it doesn't leak, like,
the
get
worst.
lighter.
This is the worst. All this information we're giving out is completely wrong.
We're not a
It's
good
like-
group. To be
Switzerland,
discussing
Geneva.
this.
I would say it would be somewhere like that. I would assume that. But the UK National Standard kilogram is kept in a basement vault at NPL. What the fuck is NPL?
So we've got the kilogram and we've got the center of time. Go
No,
UK.
you don't have the center of time. Shut the fuck
GMT.
Hey,
That's
good job.
bullshit. That's arbitrary.
It isn't.
Totally arbitrary. But the way they measure the standard for a meter is how far light travels in some ridiculously small measurement of time. Like, that's how they determine, like, that's the standard for what a meter is. It's based on,
Yeah.
you know,
How far light travels in point something of
times
a...
10 to the
yeah.
negative eighth power.
And it's the same with the second. It's like, how many electrons does an atom lose in one pulse of one... You know, it's like, they have the thing, and then they have to make it scientific.
Right.
So like the second was already a second long, and then they were like, well, how do we standardize
You
the
have to
second?
quantify it, yeah.
So they figure out the closest thing in nature to a second.
All
And then
right.
it's not
I'm
quite
gonna
right,
go
so
to
you end up with shit like
Wikipedia.
leap seconds and...
Leap seconds are real.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
You end up with all this like other bullshit that's ancillary because it doesn't quite match up.
Yeah.
The International Bureau of Weights and Measurements is an international standards organization, one of 3 such organizations established to maintain the international system of units under the terms of the meter convention. That must have been the most boring convention of all time.
There was a convention about
Do
the
you think
meter.
you get a pocket protector when
It-
you register for the meter
We should
convention?
ask them to
It
become
is in
part of our team.
France. I guarantee that, like, no, we would not even be allowed, like, in the same city while they're holding that. With this discussion, you're like, get the fuck out. We will take care of this for you. We'll figure all this shit out, and you guys just go drive your cars. That's where we fall in the spectrum of scientists. Yeah, so they're in France. I don't know how to pronounce the name of the city where they're.
What is your biggest weakness as your personal human? Like, do you have something? You know how some people, if you scrape a chalkboard, they're like, ugh. Do you have one of those that's just really bad for you?
Let me think about that. I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
My biggest weakness that if I could pick one weakness I have to get rid of, it would be that
Do you want to say this? Do you want to reveal your
Before
weakness?
RTX?
Sure. Is that when people talk about nasty dick stuff, like people bang.
That's you!
No. But like, do you get it? Where if someone says a nasty story about a penis, your actual penis hurts.
No. You're
No.
really focused on your genitals. You really are.
Have you ever talked to a professional about this?
No.
You're very focused. I was gonna say probably my biggest weakness is if I don't fall asleep by 9 o'clock, I can't fall asleep before 1.
You missed the window.
I cannot sleep between the hours of like 9:30 and 12:30 at night. I don't know what that is. Like that's a weird time for me. It's like I'm gonna go to bed at like 10:30. Never happens. I
That's
either
true.
go to bed early or I go to bed at my normal time, which is like 1 a.m. typically.
That's strange.
Is there a drug that knocks you out at night but
Chloroform.
doesn't leave?
I
What?
thought you said you could fall asleep anytime, anywhere.
No, I mean I won't do it. I could probably go and fall asleep, but I just won't do it. Like if I'm not in bed by 9, I'm not gonna go to bed until 1.
That's so weird.
But I can fall asleep anywhere in time. I'll fall asleep right now.
Do it now.
I'll do it right now.
I feel like I could do that as well. Maybe not as efficiently as you, but I feel like I don't have trouble falling asleep whenever I need to,
Me neither.
Nah.
unless I just slept for a million hours.
Last year
I'm-
I fell asleep at a bar while there were people there.
Oh yeah.
After
I took a
RTX.
picture of you. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were out with the special guest drinking, and Barbara's like this, sleeping, like sitting up perfectly straight, sleeping.
You
But I
fall
will do,
asleep
like-
in public a lot.
A lot?
You were floating down the river asleep once.
Well, that's just
Was
like
that asleep or
asking
passed
for it.
out?
That's asleep. I had maybe 2 or 3 beers.
Passed out.
You're warm, you're in the water, it's relaxing, you're hanging.
I could never fall asleep in water.
Yeah, it's a little dangerous.
But
I
you're on
should
a
probably
tube.
not do it.
Yeah, it's just weird though. I'm not relaxed when there's water sloshing all around my body.
What if you're really drunk?
Yeah, I'm all for it.
Yeah. Let me read
You ever
this.
take somebody suggested we take melatonin to fall asleep? Sarah Dippity said that. You ever take melatonin?
No, because I've never had a problem falling asleep.
I wouldn't take anything to try to fall asleep.
We should have a general anesthetic
Go ahead.
sprint contest.
What does that mean?
So we get anesthetized and then we run. See who gets the furthest.
I feel like you could hurt yourself.
Yeah, but you'd be limp and you get less injured when you're limp.
Yeah, unless you like fall on your face and like break all your teeth.
Or your nose.
No, we wear a mouth guard. But it's amazing how many people survive car crashes because they're asleep.
Or drunk.
Yeah.
But I can fall asleep. It's like in Fallout. You know how like, oh, the store's not open. I'll just sit here and sleep for 7 hours.
Yeah.
Like, I will do that. I'll sleep to pass time. Like-
Because you're bored.
Well, if I'm on a plane, I'll just like, you've seen me on planes. I'll get on a plane. I'll be asleep before we leave the gate, and then I wake up when we land in the new city.
That's the best feeling in
So
the world.
It's the best.
You did that recently on a trip we went on.
I do it all the time. Yeah.
So to Atlanta, maybe? I don't remember.
Yeah, probably for the immersion shoot.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, people have asked about immersion. We're shooting a new episode of immersion on Friday, next Friday.
Next Friday, after RTX.
Yeah, after RTX. So we're gonna shoot it for that.
Here, let me read this thing. I want to remind everyone that this podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. I am personally listening to A Clash of Kings right now. I'm about,
are you?
about a quarter of the way through
I
it.
listened to a bit of, was it book 1 or 2 that you was in your car?
There was 2.
Yeah.
Clash of Kings.
It was nice.
I finished all of book 3 because people were. I was warning you guys because they were starting sending
By the way,
spoilers.
You ruined that for me.
What do you mean?
Because,
Think about it.
I told you to block somebody.
yeah. But to block someone, you have to go on their page.
Yeah, I just resized my browser really small, and then I scrolled over to the block button.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, like a fucking normal person.
How
don't think
how
any-
did warning you make you see it?
I probably wouldn't have checked otherwise. I would have read it and not believed it.
It's also
The fact
hard
that-
not to
So
like.
we should probably explain what we're talking about. Somebody was sending us spoilers after the spoiler cast. They decided, oh, I'll send the guys on the spoiler cast future seasons of Game of Thrones. I'll send them spoilers for that, and based on the books that they haven't read. And so they started sending us stuff. I had read it, the spoiler the guy sent us, but I also had read the books. And so I just warned these guys and said, don't read that spoiler.
I
Block this
accidentally
user.
saw a tweet when I went to block him.
How are you guys so bad at fucking Twitter?
Just resize your browser window.
It's
do you
hard.
resize it on
It's
your
hard
phone?
to not read it.
Use a fucking computer. I got the text. I was like, okay, cool. I walked over to my computer and did it. That's how you do it.
Good answer. Can't fool that.
God, I forgot what I was gonna say. I'm so fucking mad now.
Why are you mad?
We're
It's
like,
like it's such an easy thing to do.
today's been a crazy day. Today's been nuts. But you say you were listening to Clash of Kings on.
Yeah, but I remember what I was gonna say was like totally relevant from that.
Oh, okay.
So
I finished the third book though. Now
What's that?
I finished the third book. Game of
What is that? A
Thrones.
Storm of Swords?
Storm of Swords. That takes us. The current season that just finished for Game of Thrones takes us about halfway through that book.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I saw an interview with one of, I guess, the executive producers for Game of Thrones on HBO, and they said they're planning on having that series run 7 seasons.
7 seasons. That depends on if George R.R. Martin can get it all done.
He better not die before he's done.
Well, from what also they addressed that in their interview. They said that he's told the 2 lead producers on that series what he wants to do throughout the rest of the series in case anything
You know,
happens to him.
I would be really insulted if I was him. I'm writing
Yeah.
this great novel that everybody loves, and everybody constantly says, "You better not die." It's like, fuck you, I'll fucking die if I want to.
Or it's like the only reason people are going to be upset when he dies is because the story won't go on.
Or it's like you're a fat old dude, so you're probably gonna die. It's like nobody said that to J.K. Rowling. Hey, don't die.
Don't die.
You know.
How
When she
old?
was-
Well, she's also not as old as him. How old is he?
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, if you're gonna write at that pace and make us wait 7 seasons for the end,
Yeah.
get it done.
Well, actually, he was telling me he wrote the first 3 books. What, in 3 years or something like that? He wrote the first 3 books, I think, in 6 years, and then it took him 6 years to deliver the next book, and then 6 years after that to deliver the book after that. I believe that's how it was.
People complain about that, but you have to appreciate the amount of time it took. Because if it took any less time, it wouldn't be the book it was.
Right.
But we haven't gotten to those books yet. We don't know if they're any good.
Well, I mean, he's based on the work he's done so far.
Yeah.
What I was going to say is that when we were talking about RTX earlier, I forgot to mention that we're going to have the premiere of Ruby there. That panel's on Friday.
Friday. But I think we're also planning to show the episode at every Ruby panel that there is during the weekend.
Correct.
So there's going to be the Ruby panel on Friday, which will be also shown on the overflow screen in Hall 5. So if you don't make it into the panel, you can watch it there.
But it will not be live streamed.
But it will not be live streamed. The episode is going to premiere a couple weeks later,
July 18th.
July 18th, on our site.
Yes.
And then it's also going to be shown at the Ruby Tech panel, which I think is Saturday, and the Ruby Art panel, which is on Sunday.
Okay, so it'll be shown at those panels.
Yeah.
And as well
So you have
at the
3
overflow
chances.
room. So
Yeah.
this year we have an overflow screen and audio set up in Hall 5. So if you can't get into the panel that you want to see, you can go down to Hall 5 and the panel will be streamed locally so you can watch it with everyone else there. And you can see the episode of Ruby, which will be shown there and not streamed for
And
everyone
I
else.
think we also plan on showing it at the the center stage, which is in the main exhibit hall. I
Yes.
think we're going to show that once or twice a day as well, in between content. So you will see the episode if you're at RTX.
Yeah, if
and
you're at
don't get in the
RTX,
panel.
we will do our best to make sure you can see it.
Yes.
So plenty of opportunities.
Do you want the dates on the books? Do you care? Or are we
Yeah,
too,
I'm
too
actually
far away
kinda-
from it at
I'm
this
kind
point?
of curious.
Okay, so Game of Thrones was the first book was 1996, Clash of Kings 98, Storm of Swords was 2000. So the first 3 books essentially came out within 4 years.
Okay.
Then a 5-year gap, A Feast for Crows 2005. Then a 6-year gap, A Dance with Dragons
Oof, he's really slowing down.
2011. So I mean, if he doesn't make the next one until 2017, and then 2023, that would be on track with what he's done so far.
2023? I can't even imagine that.
I know.
That's totally the future.
Is
be-
TV even going to still
What
be
do you-
around?
you'll be
that
dead.
year?
Are we now at a date 2013 that is well beyond the comprehension of what you consider to be the future? Like what's the farthest date? What's the farthest year?
2054.
Really? You're all the way out there?
Yeah,
Isn't that when like
that's when I'm gonna die.
Is that your
Yeah,
You're giving yourself so much time.
you were born in 88?
yeah.
No. You'll live longer
You
than
live
that.
back. You live past
I
that.
don't think so.
I remember being a kid, watching, like, on New Year's Eve, watching like the ball drop on one of the TV stations.
What does that mean, by the way?
Shut up. It was 1989 becoming 1990, and it was like the first decade change I could remember. You know, I was too young to remember 70 to 80. I remember seeing it go from 80 to 90 and thinking, God, in 10 more years, it's not just going to be a decade change, it's going to be a millennial change. Like, that's going to be such a huge event. That was the future to me, like,
Now,
as
listen,
a little
I want to
kid.
interrupt you for just a moment. Now, if anyone writes us and tells us that 2000 was not the end of the millennia, that was in the start of a new one that was just the end, the last year of the last millennia, please take your computer monitor and smash it over your own goddamn head. I'm tired of that fucking discussion, and I don't want to have it anymore. Go ahead.
And so I feel like already now, the fact that we're past that, we're already in the future. We are like not just in 2000, we are in the decade past that. I love living in the future, by the way.
Yeah, no, to me it was like the movie 2010. That was like, where all the movies in the 80s were like, the apocalypse happens exactly in 1999, we rebuild shit, Roy Scheider goes to fucking Jupiter in 2010. That was it. That was the last date that I could comprehend as a kid, and now we're in 2013. We are way past like anything I ever had planned.
It's always strange seeing movies that I watched as a kid and hearing that it came out like 17 years ago. And I'm just like, I remember watching that. Like, that does not seem like it was that long ago.
Yeah, with a lot of stuff. I mean, 1996. Had you ever heard of these Game of Thrones books? Did you ever met anybody who had read them?
No.
Before they made the series?
No.
And it's like, apparently tons of people have. Like, I don't know if Chris is, do they have a thing in the control room where you can talk to us? Like, when did Chris read them? Did he read them when they came out?
Chris, when did you read them? Let's see if I think I have him in my ear. He'll be able to tell me. But he's not talking to me right now.
Aw, he's mad at
Here
you.
you go.
Here it comes.
Everybody's
heard
like
when-
waiting
when-
with bated
when-
breath.
He didn't read them until after he heard the show was going to come out.
Oh, okay.
Then he thought that was going to be a good show.
Boy, I mean, I wonder, I would love to see
Thank
the
you for your
spike
honesty, Chris.
of sales of those books. Like, I mean, Harry Potter was selling like hotcakes.
Did you just say Barry Potter?
No, he said Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. Harry Potter was selling like hotcakes before they made the movies, you
Yeah.
know? But these things, it's like, that show really did bring those books to life.
Yeah, who was it that read them and was like, we should absolutely make this?
We should make a multi-million dollar per episode major miniseries based on these books.
The budget's like $50 to $60 million a season,
I
correct?
totally believe it.
Yeah, it's like $5 to $6 million
And
an
they still don't
episode.
show any goddamn battles. I wonder why that is. It's like every battle is implied in that show. It's like,
Well, you can't. That's.
I could. I would do that. I could make enormous battles for less than $60 million. You could run at 25 miles an hour on a treadmill. You got to believe, Gavin. You got to
So
believe.
you think about $50 to $60 million, that's a good budget for a movie, which might be 2 hours long, but this is 10 hours of content. It's like you really have to stretch that out a lot more. And as dumb as that sounds, it's like that's not nearly as much money as people put into a movie.
Yeah.
Like what's a blockbuster budget? Like $100 million?
Probably more than that.
Yeah,
I
for
think
for
around
2 hours of content.
Robert Downey Jr., by the way, is getting $150 million for the next two Avengers movies up front. He's being paid $150 million.
So he's getting more per movie than it costs to make the entire season of Game of Thrones.
More than it costs to make a movie. I mean, like, they're paying him Titanic, right? I mean, Titanic was like $180 million. It was a big, unbelievably overblown expenditure, you know, huge whale of a production. And Robert Downey Jr. is getting $150 million. He's still going to get back in. He's
can't
getting
even-
$150 million up front for the next two Avengers movies.
I can't even comprehend that amount of money.
No.
I can.
What do you do with it?
But you know what? It's easy to say that, though. It's like, because people in entertainment, it does seem like they get a ton of money. Like, you talk about like George Lucas or Tom Cruise getting like $40 million a movie, or Robert Downey Jr. now $75 million a movie. It seems like an enormous amount of money. But you look at the top list of like billionaires in the world, entertainment people are nowhere on those lists.
Who's the
Oprah.
richest in? Yeah, is it Oprah who's the richest in entertainment?
I think George Lucas, after $4.2 billion, after he'd made a bunch of money from Star Wars, then he sells the whole thing to Disney for $4.2 billion. I think he's got to be the richest.
What's
But those
Oprah?
transactions, those billion-dollar
remember.
transactions, do not happen in entertainment very often. And Disney's done two of them in the last 5 years.
What?
Marvel.
Oh, everyone forgets about that. Yeah,
I
forgot about that.
tell you. I mean,
So what went down with Pixar? Was that another acquisition?
I
that
think,
another, like, multi-billion?
No, Pixar started at Disney. Pixar started
No,
there.
I don't think
Pixar?
so.
It didn't.
Disney distributed Pixar movies, but they were not officially part of Disney.
There was also a weird thing too when the Pixar Disney shakedown happened. The Pixar was actually worth more than Disney.
Right, I think it was a merger. It was not Disney acquiring Pixar. That's why John Lasseter is now like in a higher position at Disney.
And wasn't like by a weird thing because of ownership of Pixar, wasn't Steve Jobs like the biggest Disney stockholder at one point?
Yeah, because he owns so much of Pixar.
Right. Pending the Disney acquisition of Pixar. So that was 2007.
So that's crazy to me that Steve Jobs had he had so much money from founding Apple, and then he had this Pixar thing on the side, which is like if you get one of those in your life,
Yeah.
you're like the luckiest person in the world.
Yeah, no
And he
kidding.
had two of them.
What's that? Sorry?
I'm saying Steve Jobs had Pixar and Apple. It's like you get one of those in your life, you're like the luckiest person
Well,
in the
wasn't
world.
it Toy Story that made him a billionaire?
You know, I mean, I don't even know the guy's name. You know who the angel investor for YouTube was? The guy who invented PayPal.
Yeah, the PayPal.
It's like, oh fuck, I'll just invest in these guys.
What, Elon Musk? Elon Musk?
Is it? No, that's the guy from Tesla.
Right,
Isn't it?
he's also from PayPal.
Is he
He was
really?
originally from PayPal and went on to Tesla. And
It's
then
probably
SpaceX.
multiple dudes. I don't think
Jeez.
that. I don't think it's Musk.
Didn't something
Weirdest
big
name
happen
ever.
with that dude from Microsoft?
Don Matrick?
Yeah.
Yeah, he left.
Yeah, people keep asking about it. We talked about that at length on the patch
Oh, you
today.
did.
So Gus and I are a little bit talked out about it. Do you want to talk about Don Matrick?
I guess we
leaving?
can mention, I mean, this is earlier, it's more topical now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy to me that anyone would go to Zynga.
Yeah.
It seems like-
It must always be about money then.
I don't know.
Can I make money here? Because I
Well-
never understood why people would move from Apple to go somewhere
Well, what
else.
Burnie stated, and we'll talk about it more in depth when the patch comes out. What Burnie said was, you can make more of an impact at a company that's having problems
Yeah.
versus a respected, established company.
Hey, did you read the article that developers get paid too much money? That was
I saw people talking about it. I didn't read it.
Game
though.
developers.
yeah. They were saying that like somebody was saying the problem with games. It was kind of an offshoot of the whole discussion about the Xbox One and everything they were trying to put in the Xbox One. And the reason why they're doing it is this reporter said it's because game developers make too much money because they are always tweeting pictures of their girlfriend in their Lamborghini and stuff like
Talking
that.
about Cliffy B.
Yeah, it seemed like it was a big insinuation towards Cliffy B, like one dude, you know.
He does have a hot girlfriend or wife, is it?
He left. Somebody
Wife,
said he
I
left
think.
because of DRM change. You have no idea why he left. I mean, I appreciate that. You know, I appreciate that you have a Twitter account just like everybody else, but shut the fuck up. Feel free not to speak.
That's the problem with the internet and with Twitter is you get too much direct context. People who are way out of their league.
Well, look, I mean,
and
it's
you're like wildly
we
speculating.
have a
about
podcast.
stuff.
We just ruin science.
Yeah, it would
for
be like me teaching science to 30 people.
You know, Gav, I'm starting to think you're way ahead of the curve on us in science after Gus's nighttime solar eclipse.
Hey, you went along with it. Don't
I
fucking throw
did.
me
I was
under the
right
bus.
there with you. I trust your opinion. I was like, oh yeah.
okay.
It
I
would
didn't-
happen at night.
I didn't remember Terry Fox, so
We don't know
every
shit.
single Canadian
If
is
you're tuning
disowning
into
me
this
right
podcast
now.
for information, you're
Well,
just
there's
you
a
haven't
re-
learned shit in 225
Two
podcasts.
crescent
There's a
moons makes them
reason
China.
that shut up. There's a reason we're not classified under the
honest.
educational podcast section.
Oh God, I know.
Yeah.
I sometimes, because when I upload a Slow Mo Guys video, the category, I don't even know what that's for. So I just mess around with it. The amount of videos I put up as educational is unbelievable. They're not.
Is there a how-to?
I don't think that's a category.
Yeah,
Is it?
I also don't think it would qualify for. Well, I don't think.
Yeah, what is it?
How to?
What do those categories mean? I never thought about that until now.
I think there used to be a page where it would have the top 5 most watched from each category.
Yeah.
But no, who the hell goes to that? YouTube is so now customized to your personal watching
Yeah.
history that I don't know why
We also-
anything exists.
So, Facebook had a new, I don't know if it's new for me, I just got it today. It's like a new look when you go to facebook.com. I love it. It's the first time I've ever seen like a revamp of a website where I'm 100% like, yes, this makes
you mean-
a hell of a lot more sense.
when you're not logged in.
No, when I'm logged in. How can you look at Facebook not logged in?
This is a long.
Facebook.com. You
You can't surf Facebook.
It's
really.
just.
Can you surf Facebook?
You've
without being logged
fucking
in?
blown my mind with that question. You
what's-
have to be logged in for pretty much everything.
Pixar
what-
was acquired by Disney for $7.4 billion in 2006. Where the fuck does Disney get all this money?
Mickey
They
Mouse.
spent like
Disney World.
It's back.
$15 billion
It's
bucks.
back catalog, especially at that time. They have a lot of old properties that have made them a lot of money that they continue to make money on, and they were having trouble making money at the time. So they use the back catalog money to make something that can get them money going forward.
You know, Pixar started too in 1979.
Yeah, it was a
Whoa.
George Lucas thing. He sold it. He sold it to Steve Jobs, I think.
Okay. They started in 1979. Toy Story came out November 22nd, 1995. I'm going to go ahead and say on record that that's a slow fucking start for a company. That is 1979 to
Well, no, you're
1995.
saying the first thing they did was
used
a movie.
They used to sell hardware.
Yeah, they must have done something before that.
Pixar sold animation rendering hardware.
They made that short with a lamp.
Yeah,
pissing
that's
about.
not enough, Gavin. That's not enough to fill up
That
2.5
was-
decades.
that was in the
16
80s.
years. You think it took them 16 years to make a fucking 2-minute video?
Yeah, a lamp can crush a ball.
Yeah,
we
that's-
learned that in the 80s.
No, it
They
crushes
sell-
the eye
They
on
talk
the
about it at
pizza.
length in the Steve Jobs
What?
biography, which I also listened to on
and he was the
Audible.com.
largest shareholder
Yeah,
after,
and,
after the acquisition.
Yeah, they used to make and sell animation hardware, and then they decided to start making their own animation.
So does Jobs' estate? Does Jobs have kids? Doesn't he have a daughter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has a boat.
Okay, that's not the same
Great.
thing, Gavin.
Definitely not the same thing as
Close,
a kid.
but not quite the same thing. So does Jobs' estate now own most of Pixar, Disney, Marvel, and Lucas? I mean, is that fair to say that if he was the largest Disney stockholder?
I don't think he owns any part of Lucas, though.
Well, I don't know. I mean, his estate, not him.
Oh, his estate. I don't,
yeah.
He was never involved with Lucas. The only involvement I know of is that he acquired Pixar from Lucas.
Yeah, but I'm saying if he was the largest Disney stockholder, the largest in the world, when they merged with Pixar, he became a Disney stockholder. So then Disney goes off and buys Marvel and buys.
Oh, I see. By Star, I forgot about
Lucas.
Yeah. Disney acquiring Star Wars.
So what happened to all of Steve Jobs' money?
Lauren
That's
Powell
a huge
has it.
estate. That's a huge estate.
Yeah.
He's the largest Disney stockholder and the largest Apple stockholder, right? I'm
I know,
assuming
but
he
why are you
was.
confused?
Why would I be confused?
Well, it's just some family that has a lot of money. That's all it is, isn't it?
Yeah,
Those are like super premier companies to have huge stakes in.
Yeah.
It is interesting to me, Gavin, when someone is outrageously wealthy or powerful and you have no idea who they are. Like the biggest company in the world is ExxonMobil. We never know who their CEO is. They never get talked about ever. Who is the CEO of ExxonMobil? But we know Steve Jobs. We know Bill Gates. We know Steve Ballmer. We know Richard Branson. You know, we know CEOs of Donald Trump, for Christ's sake.
CEOs aren't always, like, CEOs hire CEOs to replace them all the time.
Right.
I think
like
boards hire CEOs.
What?
But
Board of
even when the
directors.
CEO of ExxonMobil changes, like everyone's telling us, talk about Don Matrick changing from Xbox. He's not even the CEO of Microsoft. He's basically a head of a department at Microsoft, head of Xbox. And it's like Don Matrick leaving is a big deal. I don't know that when the CEO of ExxonMobil steps down, how often that happens, or if anybody makes a big deal about it or anything like that. It's the biggest company in the world. It affects all of our lives.
It wasn't that the Carlos Slim guy who works for that company.
Carlos Slim.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll look him up.
No, he's not he.
He was the richest guy in the world.
Yeah, he is the richest guy in the world. He's not the CEO of ExxonMobil.
What,
No,
did he not
he
do
probably
something
owns
to do with... Is that not the company he did?
I think he owns a large.
Carlos
stake.
Slim was the CEO of ExxonMobil from I'm just kidding. He's a Mexican business magnate, investor, and philanthropist. Slim had been ranked by Forbes the richest person in the world from 2010 to 2013. His extensive holdings in a considerable number of Mexican companies throughout his conglomerate Grupo Carso have amassed interests. He owns like Telmex and American Movil. Let me see if that's not mobile.
Mobile.
No. that was-
Telecommunications. It's telecommunications, not petroleum.
There you go.
He also owned CompUSA when it still existed in the U.S., but then
Also-
they went under.
Well, I was thinking about this the other day. I was looking at companies. When do companies companies don't get mascots anymore? Companies used to get mascots all the time,
What are you
like
talking about?
Ma Bell and stuff like that. Like, do you know what the mascot is for Exxon?
A gerbil.
Any idea? What's that? Like the post office has a mascot. What's the mascot? The post office. That's the easy one.
Is it an envelope with hands?
No, shush.
You're asking non-Americans. This is kind
What
of
is
a
it?
way to question. It's like the eagle,
It's
right?
the eagle. Yeah, it's the eagle. But do you know what the Exxon?
Yeah, of course
mascot
I
is?
do.
What is it?
The tiger.
Tiger, right? So these big companies have mascots, and that's
Geico has a gecko.
yeah. Geico has a
Who's
gecko.
English?
That one I knew.
Here's a really weird one. See if you know this one. What's Mobil's mascot?
Mobil?
Yeah.
Like the old gas company that Exxon merged with?
Yeah, ExxonMobil.
An envelope with hands.
Stop it.
Mobil. They had a mascot?
When you see it, you're never gonna believe what it is until I show it to you.
Is it a planet?
It is. It's a flag with a planet on it.
Earth.
I can't even imagine Mobil having a mascot.
Want to see it?
Yeah.
Mobil's. First of all, I'll tell you to you, and you won't believe me. Mobil's mascot is a Pegasus.
Oh, right.
It's the red Pegasus.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Now you can envision
I totally
it, right?
know it.
Yeah. But it's weird. Like what? Like should we Rooster Teeth get a mascot? Like what would we?
We have a
pick?
rooster.
The rooster.
No, it's not. It's not
So
a mascot.
the best mascot, I don't even know.
It doesn't even have a name. Our rooster.
It's him. The best mascot is that gas company. I can't even think of what it is. The one.
Oh, it is
Marathon? Is that it?
Oh, I know which one it is. You know what's the mascot?
It's the dinosaur.
It's a brontosaurus.
It's the brontosaurus.
Yeah. What the hell is that company?
What?
Sinclair. Yeah.
A brontosaurus. Best mascot for.
It really is. Like you're getting gas, and here's a dinosaur. This is where your gas came from. Is this thing? But a brontosaurus is made up.
I came up with
Right.
a name for the rooster.
What?
RT.
Artie. Yeah. We had a
What was the name of the boss of the RT Shorts? What was he called?
Artie Shorts. Artie Schwartz, CEO of RT Shorts. It was
He
a
was
character
Jewish,
we wrote,
right?
and he never made it into a. He was going to be a short Italian guy. His name was Artie Schwartz.
Wasn't he going to be Paul Marino at some
He was going to be
point?
Paul Marino's going to do it. Yeah, it was Artie Schwartz, president of RT Shorts. So, but we
genius.
never did anything with the character. Matt's going to be mad if we talked about that.
I've never heard about that.
Artie Schwartz. Hello, I'm Artie Schwartz, president of RT Shorts.
You do that really well.
Thanks.
You are from New York, though, so.
Well, Paul could nail that. Paul does that voice great.
So you
I ran into him randomly, like walking down the street.
As opposed
couple-
to plan running into everybody else.
Shut up. I ran into him walking down the street out of nowhere like a couple weeks ago.
Let's run into each other at 3 on Sunday.
All right, what happened? Tell us
No,
about
it's just weird to me, like walking down the street and you see someone in the distance walking towards you, like, is that Paul?
Gus.
Why
it
is that
happens to
weird?
regular people all the fucking time.
I never
the weird
go
thing
out.
is that you went
When's
outside.
the last time you ran into someone?
The weird thing is you went
When's
outside.
the last time you ran into someone?
I run into Becca Fraser, I think, occasionally. She played sister. In
When's the
Rivers
last
Cliff.
time?
I don't know.
Occasionally, it's not a specific time.
Well, planned or unplanned, Gus? Which one? What do
don't
you
change the
wanna know?
fucking subject.
Are you
I'm on
sometimes-
point here.
Are you sometimes in your kitchen, you look into your living room and you're like, Esther?
When's the last time you ran into someone?
I ran to Laurie Webb in Seattle.
No.
I ran into.
Wrong.
I ran into
the last
my
time was
buddy.
you ran into my wife at the fucking place over there on Duval.
She was acting shifty.
No, don't change the fucking subject.
Was it
You're
planned?
wrong.
I ran into my buddy that I went to college with. I ran into him the other night. He was bartending, and I saw him there. I said hello. We had a ketchup drink.
Okay.
You had a ketchup
Really,
drink.
really nice. It's good.
I never run into anyone because I don't know anyone in the city besides
I
Rooster
actually
Teeth
did go
people.
through, in all seriousness, I did go through a period in Austin where I never ran into anybody.
Who notices that?
In Austin.
That's like walking around and thinking, I haven't stubbed my toe in ages. Who notices that?
Man.
People would go like, oh, is it the grocery store? I ran into Jason. I go, how come I never see anybody in Austin? I never run into people. It's not that big a town, and I always get mad that I was jealous that other people were running into other people, and I wasn't.
What?
No, it happens to me all the time. That's why I'm talking about it. Why am I the weirdo?
So you're like,
It's essentially the same thing.
you're walking around and you're just like, why am I missing out? all the
I like
time?
walk out of the grocery store, and I'm like this. I'm like, ah, shit.
People are meeting each other. I'm not there.
I was upset by that. Yeah, it's like I hear other people having a good time, and I'm like, I'm not out there like running into people I know.
Same thing I said.
So
Yeah,
Somehow
yeah,
I'm the
yeah.
weirdo.
You're just a weird because
It's
you
the
never go
same
outside.
thing.
your story was I was walking down the street and in the distance was someone walking the other way. who I
Right,
know.
which is weird, which is the same thing he's
Happens
saying.
all
He's
the
complaining
time
that it
to
never happened
everybody.
to him.
Happens to everybody.
He just said it didn't happen to you.
Happens to regular people, I said. Like, your problem is you don't ever go outside. You know, if you met somebody every
This
time
is
you went
so
outside,
frustrating.
if you,
RTX.
100% of zero is still zero. You don't ever go out anywhere. You never go out.
I've
What was
had
the
it with
last
a-
place you went out? You went out and you
This
hey,
has gone out a couple times.
like why were you walking that day? You ran to Paul Marino. What
I
happened?
was going to lunch.
You were walking to lunch from where?
I had parked.
From your house?
From the fucking parking lot. When's the last?
He's annoyed now.
Yeah,
You
I'm
parked in
super
a parking
annoyed.
lot and then walked down a street? Where
Yeah.
were you eating?
Huh?
Where were you eating?
Up at the domain. Like you don't have the garages.
Oh, okay. Store holds up. I'll allow it.
Just it's weird. I'd never run into anyone, and I ran into someone.
So you saw
Happens all
him.
the time.
Did you cross the street to avoid it, or
no, because I know him. I like him.
you don't like meeting people that you know, do you?
Yeah, but he's all right. I like
Do you
Paul.
think
Paul.
if we were walking down the street and Gus saw us first, what do you like, Gavin? You didn't see him or I didn't see him. Would he come over and say hello to us?
Absolutely not. And you
No,
probably,
there's no way.
You
There's no
probably
way.
look on the ground for a magazine and then hold it over your face by a wall or something just to avoid
I
it.
would say hi to you guys.
You would go out of your way like
No.
What if you
If
saw
we
me in a
cross
store?
paths.
If we cross paths.
Yeah.
If you're walking down and I'm in a store window shopping or dressing a mannequin or something like that, and you walk by on the sidewalk and you see me, would you tap on the glass?
No.
That's
absolutely
too much.
not. No.
So you would never go out of your way to be noticed.
If you saw me, I'd say, hey, what's up? Wave. But I'm not gonna fucking tap on the glass.
So
What am I, a fucking animal?
Yes, hey.
why was your wife so shifty when we bumped into her that time?
Because she wasn't sure if you were doing something shady.
What would I have been doing? I was getting coffee.
Where the fuck you guys
were
meet?
there
The
with
back alley?
You were there with someone she didn't recognize.
Who was I with?
Emily Higgins.
Why would she not recognize Emily Higgins?
Because she doesn't know Emily.
So because I'm there with Emily Higgins, that's shifty.
I was gonna say, you see somebody with Emily Higgins and you immediately assume shifty business. It's like, look at these
like the
two
sweetest
miscreants.
girl.
It was the
world.
coffee shop that was about 10 meters from my house. I don't think it's that weird.
Right. I mean, to me, it wouldn't have been weird because I know Emily and I knew you lived 10 meters away. She doesn't know that either of those things.
She gave me a filthy look, man. She gave me a dirty look.
Did she really?
Yeah.
Would you ever bring Esther on the podcast?
No.
Can we get Esther instead of you one day? I would love
so
that.
Yeah.
Esther and I have been doing this thing where when we get in the car,
I hope this isn't a gross story.
we set up our iPhones to record our conversations.
No, you don't. Why? Why?
We think eventually there'll be enough interesting stuff there for a podcast.
Oh, yeah,
I
you
think
should
so.
do that.
So
I
you
would
just
totally
record
listen to
all the
that.
conversations that you had.
Yeah, I have like hours of footage of us talking, driving around Austin.
Put that out.
Did you
I want to
say-
listen to that. Do
Car
you want to listen to
talk.
that?
Yeah.
I want to listen to that.
Well, I mean, I know for a fact that Esther has some immense stories.
Yeah, she does.
You probably couldn't put them on a
But
podcast.
it's just
though.
like,
Did you say you guys had like a really silly fight in the car one time?
yeah, one time we like legitimately got into a fight. I don't remember what was it about? I don't even remember what it was about, but we recorded the whole thing.
Yeah.
It was like over nothing.
You told me about it. I'm trying to remember.
Is there
what it
any
was.
chance in the world that you guys have recorded when you ran into Gavin?
No, I was out of town. I don't know what I was doing when she ran into you.
I don't know. I was shocked to see her outside though.
Yeah, I think I was at NAB when that happened.
God, I would love to hear those conversations.
But
I
we'll
can't
see.
say-
We'll see. Maybe they'll come out.
I'm sure a lot of the world would like to hear those
The
conversations.
Sorolas.
Yeah.
What do you argue about?
I think when we got into that argument, it was about where to go to eat dinner.
I don't have time for that. People, I don't know if it's because I'm not like a hipster asshole, but I just want to eat.
Right.
I mean, let's not have a conversation that lasts more than 20 seconds about it.
I get off lucky because I moved to a really interesting part of Austin because you kind of forget what Austin is until you like encounter certain parts of it. Like I forgot that Austin was a river city and I live in the river part of town. So like now in the summer, it's like everywhere I go is just people in swimsuits and it's almost like I live in a beach town because I live like right there next to Barton Springs and right next to the river where everyone goes now, which also seems like a new thing. People going out on Town Lake, which we call a river, which
Yeah.
is a river. We call it a lake.
Which is a river, but
Yeah,
called lake.
we call it a lake for whatever reason. Colorado River. We call it Ladybird Lake now. But it's like I live in that part of that part of town. It's like it feels really, really beachy. There's like little markets and stuff like that. It's really strange. It's like I've never been to a part of Austin like that until I moved to that part of Austin. And I'm sure there's people who live out at the lake who probably have that feeling even more than I do.
You ever bump
Not,
into
not
anyone
these
down there?
days.
What's that? No, I never bumped into anybody. It never happens to me. So I'm so mad. I moved so I'd have a higher chance of it. But no. I mean, look, how often do you guys go to Barton Springs?
Not very often.
Yeah, not very often, right? How often, have you even been there?
I went about 6 years ago,
Yeah.
and it was
So-
all gammy.
What do you mean it's all gammy?
Like there was all algae everywhere.
Well, they shut it down when they have to clean it.
Yeah, they had to clean it.
Yeah, they'll do that.
I used to go a lot when I used to work at the call center, and I'd have like a 4 p.m. to midnight shift. When I was available in the day in the summer, I'd go out there.
That is some cold fucking water in that thing. I love it.
I've never been there.
You should go. It's really cool.
Yeah.
You ever been to Zilker?
Zilker Park?
Yep. Okay. Well, it's right there.
I floated the river in Austin this weekend for the first time.
You can float a river in Austin?
Someone told
Yeah,
me
you
that
can.
we were talking about floating after RTX going on New Braunfels, and you said that there's an
I
East
said
Austin
he
tubing
just went,
thing.
yeah.
And you
I
went
just
on
went,
that.
and I was.
Where is it? Oh, God damn it.
That was a tiny bit.
Let me just ask you that. When I tell you that, hey, we can go float the river in East Austin, that's like an immediate no, right?
Yeah, absolutely
That
not.
sounds like a bad idea.
No, it was chilled as hell. I think it's because not many people go.
Where was
They-
it?
There's no current.
No, it takes like an hour and a half, and you can go around again. It's like $25
Is anyone going to answer where the fuck is it?
somewhere in Austin. And I was like,
How would he know?
Shit.
This is the thing I did. I just recently, right? I just had I lost a bunch of stuff. So
What happened?
I was with Jeff and Griffin. We were floating down, having some.
What'd you
bevs.
lose?
I'm gonna get to that in the
Okay,
story.
go ahead.
Well, you don't tell that part first.
What do you mean? So I have a GoPro, right?
Go ahead.
Which comes with an underwater case. So I was like, I float the river quite a lot because I love the sun. I worship the sun. If it's sunny, I want to be outside.
Right.
So I was like, I'm going to take some gnarly pictures, underwater stuff. Well, not underwater pictures,
Some gnarly pictures.
but basically it's a waterproof camera. So I had it in my pocket.
Did you get some radical ones too?
There was nothing rad about this.
Okay.
But
Radical.
we got like 20 minutes down. I was like, we're Bevan having a laugh. I was like, I brought this camera. And for those of you who don't know what a GoPro is, it's a camera about this big that does high def,
Super
very wide angle.
Yeah.
So I pulled it out, slipped, fumbled it. It flew up in the air, went in the water, never saw it again.
Really? That's like a $300 camera.
$300.
Holy shit.
And
Grace
the
and
water was
elegance.
too dirty to see the ground. And
Sounds awesome.
I would love to tube in that.
I think as it was in the air, I'd already given up on looking for it.
As
That
you're
doesn't surprise
fumbling
me
it?
at all.
Because I didn't want to spend the next half an hour just like walking in circles, hoping I'd stand on it to try and find
You
it.
didn't even, did you
$300.
dive after
How,
it? Or
how
anything,
deep
or-
was it?
It was probably up to my chest.
That's kind of deep.
to here.
How much effort went into getting it after it plunked in the water? Did you even swim to the spot where it splashed?
Yeah, it landed right in front of me. It literally sank at my feet.
Yeah.
And I kind of did a little and I was like, it's gone forever.
Brandon says that water's full of bat shit.
That doesn't surprise me because you can't see the floor.
I don't give. People always make a big deal about that stuff. Who gives a shit?
And
I would have
animal
totally
turd
gone
isn't
in
bad.
after that.
You're in the river, Barb. I hate to say that. When you go float the river in New Braunfels, I want you to notice how many people are drinking beer.
Oh, no, it's gross.
Versus how many people are getting out to pee.
Yeah, it's piss.
None.
It's piss.
Everyone pees in that.
Everybody.
So later
We
that
have
day,
an agreement whenever we all go to.
as long as you're downstream,
Yeah.
you can piss.
Everyone has that agreement. Even the people upstream of you have that agreement. Even the people that are not in your
that's
party.
the dumbest thing I've ever
Yeah.
heard.
There have been
I don't know.
times where you
Like,
swim.
you think everyone, there's like one person who's like, I gotta piss, guys. He's like trying to shoot to the front of everybody on the fucking river.
You mean behind?
Have you ever?
Going
I
downstream.
don't know what you mean. Have you ever gone? What's the earliest in the year you've gone down there to go tubing?
End
May?
of May?
We went one time at the mid-April. We went down to go tubing, and we almost fucking died. It was so cold, and then it started to rain on us too.
Ugh.
It
You
was
just went on
like-
a bad day.
It was
Why
miserable.
would you go in April?
Because we just couldn't wait to go. We were in college, and so we've got to go down there.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. It's so much fun.
It's
So
awesome.
this is awesome as well. Later that day, went downtown, hanging out on 6th Street, having a few bevs there.
Yep.
And at some point, I lost my keys.
Oh, jeez. Look, you always ridicule me for being irresponsible.
I've had this keyring, I think, like 15 years. I've always had this keyring. Lost it, and I got back home, and I realized that Jeff and Griffin don't have a spare key for the little studio that I stay in.
Uh-huh.
So I just had to stand there all night.
What does that mean?
Well, I couldn't get in.
You
What,
stood
like a
outside
Terminator?
your door?
Yeah. And it was really wet that night. It was raining all night. I had to eventually find refuge in a little wooden hut to get out of the
Why
rain.
don't you knock and have them let you into the house?
I didn't want to wake them up.
Oh my God.
You spent all night in a wooden hut?
Yeah. And I was calling people.
Were you drunk?
Oh, yeah. I was
Okay.
calling people because I was like, I've been in a few people's cars that night. So I was like, I probably dropped it in the cars. So I was like ringing all these people. I was like, hey, when you wake up, let me know. Because I didn't want to spend $200 on getting a dude to change the locks before I absolutely knew my keys were lost.
What time was this?
I got home at like 3, and I think I had the locks changed at 7.
I was gonna say you could have called me, but I'm glad you didn't call me.
I'm not going to call you at 4 a.m.
No,
on a
I'm
Sunday.
glad.
Yeah, I
Why
would never
would
do
you
that.
I would have
call
hung
you?
up on you, huh?
Why would he have called you?
Because I live like 2 blocks away.
Oh, you mean to come stay? I thought you meant to
Right.
look for his keys.
Yeah.
So what'd you do? You slept in a hut?
I didn't sleep. I just sat there for 4
Like the
hours.
chicken? Did you sleep in the chicken coop?
It was in the same place where they used to.
Just under a little tarp.
Originally, I was standing
Yeah,
by
but
my.
don't do that in the
What do you
future.
mean?
You can call anybody. Call Gus. Call me.
No, don't call me.
I'm
Call
not going to
him.
bother people in the night.
You woke me up at 6 a.m.
Well, 6, I felt like I'd waited enough time to the point where the sun had come up. I was like, hey, did I leave my keys in your car? And you were like, no.
So you never found them?
No.
You know, you ridicule me all the time for losing stuff. And in fact, I got this new iPhone case, which I freaking love. I gotta look at it and make
You
sure I'm not
can't
gonna
find
steal it.
right now.
I really can't actually. I can't find it. Oh, it's here. It's down here. So I'm gonna make sure this is okay. Okay, yeah. So I got this iPhone case here, and it's so dirty. Apple products always make you look like the dirtiest son of a bitch in the world. They're so greasy or gross.
Mine's
but,
fine.
oh, shut the fuck up. All right, so here's my iPhone, and then on the back it's got my wallet. It like clips on the back, so I have my little credit card wallet.
Well, that's going to come off.
Fuck you. Fuck you. You know what the first thing everyone says to me when they see this? This is super convenient. Now I only have one thing that goes in my pocket.
What do you do with cash?
I sometimes have cash, I sometimes don't.
Okay.
But
Can I
keep
see
it in
how
my pocket
firmly
separately.
that's attached?
Yeah, go for it. But the first thing everyone says is, when I show them that, is they say, well, what happens when you lose the whole thing? It's like, I don't fucking do that. I just don't lose it.
It's on pretty
'Cause that's
tight.
the
Have you
one thing
ever
I got-
lost one?
This is the one thing I have to keep up with. This
Well,
is it.
you left your phone in the cab.
This is the one thing I had to. But I knew I left in the cab the moment I got out of the cab. The
Yeah.
cab just pulled away. I literally knew we were standing on the curb. Unlike you, when you left it in the cab, I had to tell you that it was in the cab still.
Then you almost didn't.
I so wanted that cab to drive away.
You ever lost your phone, Barbara?
No.
Why? You seem really mad over there.
No,
Look
just
at that.
curious.
You're making this face. You're like this.
Just curious to know if people have lost their
I
phones or
mean,
not.
Have you lost your phone?
Once. It was at PAX East
East, yeah.
in 2012. It fell out of my pocket in a cab. But using Find My iPhone, I left the alerts and left a message on the screen.
Did you get it
and I
back?
got the cab driver to come back and give it to me.
I think it's
Yeah, mine was essentially stolen. I went immediately. This was in Sydney when I did it, and I went immediately to the hotel room. I got on Find My phone, and they had turned off my phone.
Yeah, so
Somebody took my phone.
I got lucky in that the cab driver had not picked up another fare by the time he heard the alert on my phone.
yeah.
I hated that. That was a horrible feeling. I lost that 2 days into our 3-week trip to Australia and Japan. That sucked. So I had like this
Terrible.
little junky phone.
You were using my phone for a while.
Was I?
Yeah. You also you were texting people from my phone, and then I didn't really have that much data for international roaming. I think I bought like 120 megs, and I was being really conservative with my usage. The first person you text sent you about 6 pictures in one go, and used up like half my. Just by
Scumbag
sending
Burnie.
it to me, they were sending it to you.
Sorry.
Oh, don't worry about it.
He's not sorry at
You,
all.
you
I
only cost me like
guarantee you.
$80.
What's
I've
that?
been just I'm annoyed. I hate wasting money. And that one day the other day,
You hate wasting money, but you gave up on your GoPro.
I know I was
as it was
never
falling
gonna
into the
find
water.
it. I was never gonna
You
find
didn't
it.
even try.
I just knew it was gone. I mean, I looked for like a minute, but that was like 300 down the drain. And then that night I spent 200 getting my lock changed.
I know exactly what you mean.
So annoying.
That stuff comes in runs too.
Yeah.
That always happens. Like I went out. There was a time, Ashley, when she first moved to Austin. Every time we left the house, I made a $150 to $200 mistake, like 4 times in a row.
Like
Broke-
ruining that DS.
Yeah, and then ruining the DS, and then I lost something. I forgot what I lost now, but I lost something, and I had to replace that too, like a hard drive or something like that. It's like what the fuck? Every time we go somewhere and do something, it's like there goes another $150.
You know what the answer is?
What?
Stay home.
Yeah.
Stay home.
It's a sign you shouldn't leave.
Well, I want to run into people. I gotta
Yeah,
increase
you
my
agree,
chances.
and then you quickly realize.
I think the fucking DS is a racket, dude. I spilled like this much coffee on that DS. It was in her purse. It hit the outside of her purse. A couple drops get in.
I can't believe the point of the story is I can't believe you had coffee.
Yeah, I drink coffee like a mug now. I drink it all the time.
Like a
Really?
mug.
That actually doesn't
Like a
work that
mug or
well
in a
with-
mug?
with that expression.
I store
got
coffee
Gavin
like a mug.
Let me see if this is weird. I got Gavin a mug. I saw a mug the other day at Urban Outfitters, and it says, "Coffee makes me poop." And Gavin tells a story about how he's poop every time he drinks coffee. So I bought him the mug, and I brought it here, and I go, "Here, I got you a coffee mug." And he goes, "Great." And then the next day I go to his desk, and I go, "Where's your coffee mug?" He goes, "Oh, I took it home. I didn't have any cups at home, so I took my mug home." Right there. Does it seem weird that I give him a gift at work and he takes it home?
How is
not
that
at all.
weird?
No,
That's
Anyway,
totally weird to me.
No.
Here's why that's not weird.
That was your work coffee mug.
Because it's his.
No.
He can do whatever the fuck he wants with
It's
it.
his
He
coffee
could take
mug.
it and smash it. He could take it and sell it on Craigslist. It
I could
doesn't
take
matter
it
what
to the
he does
river
with
and
it.
drop it.
Apparently.
This is why it's not weird. I have a mug at work. It's a creeper mug. I don't have any mugs at home.
Okay, you should have kept it at work and taken the creeper mug home.
No, but the creeper should stay on his desk because he has all his creeper merchandise.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like
Also-
Animal Crossing.
But you're not going to
People-
go to his house and give it to him.
People at this company are gross, dude. There's some disgusting mugs who work here. Not actual mugs. I don't want people using my mug. That was a
Yeah.
nice mug you gave me. I was like, I'm gonna have some nice
It
tea
says
at
poop
home.
on it.
It says poop on it, but this guy's clean. It's clean as right now. It's spick and span at home.
And sit there at home. Do you have a kitchen at home?
I have a kitchenette.
And what does that mean?
There's a sink with a cupboard
So you have a sink.
and a cooker.
So you have a sink.
Kitchenette.
What's
Cooker.
a cooker?
What do you call like a?
A hot plate?
No.
A stove?
There you go.
So it's a kitchen.
I've
But it-
never
no,
heard
no,
someone call a
kitchen-
stove a cooker.
Go to England. A kitchen is a room.
Okay.
Defined by a sink
Where
and a
is
stove.
yours?
Do you have a
Floating in
refrigerator?
space?
Yeah.
You have a kitchen.
Well, then I have a bedroom, kitchen, living room, study.
I used to live.
It's the corner of the room. It has,
There's apartments called efficiencies where everything's one room. You still have a kitchen, you still have a bedroom, you still have a living room. It's all one room.
so what's a kitchenette?
It's like if you have like
It's a sink.
if you have all of that, but like a toaster oven or something small, like not a cooker.
Do you have a refrigerator?
Yeah,
Yes!
I asked him that.
Do you have a refrigerator, a sink,
and a
a
stove.
cooker?
Yeah.
Does the
Cooker has an
stove
oven
have
on
an
it.
oven? Do you have a kitchen?
You have a kitchen.
Do you have a microwave?
No.
Okay.
I don't like microwaving stuff.
I don't like microwaving stuff either.
I don't have. Do you have a microwave? No, you said no. Do you have a microwave?
Yes. I do.
You have one even though you don't like
It's
it.
built in. It's built in. I couldn't do anything about it.
I don't have a microwave.
I mean, you need a microwave. You have to have one because
No.
it comes up.
I have a microwave.
No, it never comes up.
It comes up.
No. When would it come up?
I went out. I have one of those coffee machines where it's a single serving coffee machine, which was great when I lived alone. But now it's like it's too much work. So I went out to go buy a coffee maker, and I don't know why you got in my head. You went through a phase where you made difficult coffee, and you were like you had a spot temperature reader where you're doing all that stuff. It was like way too much effort. But I don't know what. And Chris, the Martinizer, he does the same fucking thing. If he says, "Do you want me to make you a cup of coffee?" You're like, "Sure." He's gone for an hour.
He hand grinds it.
Yeah.
To the perfect
We have a
granule.
coffee station
They have
upstairs.
their coffee station. Yeah.
With your Bleemer shit coffee, which by the way tastes great.
Civet.
But Chris makes an awesome cup of coffee.
Coffee is so douchey. It's almost as douchey as drinking out of a jar.
Then you would hate. I have a Chemex now.
Oh,
Coffee
really?
is
Yes, I do.
douchey?
Nice.
I got it at
Coffee's
Whole Foods.
really douchey.
It's like a glass hourglass kind of a thing with like manual filters. Then you have to heat up the water separately and pour it in slowly, and you can't do it all at once. You have to sit there and like brew your coffee like
Nah.
yeah. It's
Get a
horrible.
life.
It's horrible, dude.
Yeah, a Chemex is way more work than the AeroPress that I had.
It was way
I
more.
guarantee
work.
you.
Yeah, I don't know why I did this, but it makes
How many
good-
do you use it every day?
Yep, makes great coffee. It turns out it's like kind of a Zen thing where I can pour in the hot water and make the coffee that way, and also clean my kitchen at the same time. Then go back and pour a little bit more in.
Is this gross? Because I was doing this
We're wrapping
here.
up soon, just for FYI.
I was doing this here recently. I was I
ahead.
wanted to have really quick lunch, and there's like crappy ramen here, like in a packet. So I was like, have some of that. So I was boiling just enough water because I was trying to get. We were about to do a let's play, and I was like, let's wrap this up. Let's get this water boiled and pour it onto these crappy noodles. Dude comes over.
Are you gonna call this person out or?
No.
Okay.
Do it.
I'll tell you after.
Okay.
Dude comes over. He was like, man, you're already boiling water. I was like, yeah, just enough to do these noodles, and I'm out of here. He was like, oh, cool. And he was like drinking from his water bottle, I guess. He was like, opened the kettle while it was boiling and poured all of his into it.
Why?
That's gross, right?
What?
That's
People are minging.
That's
That's
gross.
gross.
And not only was I annoyed because the water that was almost
Who
ready.
was it?
Monty.
It was Monty.
No.
Really?
Not only did it take like another 5 minutes that I had to wait, it came out of his mouth.
Well, boiled water.
Wait,
is-
wait,
I don't
wait,
give a
wait.
I don't care
Wait,
that
wait,
it got
wait.
boiled.
Wait a
It
minute, though. Wait a
is
minute. You said you had to
gross.
wait another 10 minutes for it to boil. You didn't start the process over once somebody dumped their own water into your kettle? You
What
just
do you mean
kept going?
start it over?
You didn't like
What do
dump
you mean?
it out?
How is that hard to comprehend what I said? You didn't start over? You didn't dump out the whole thing and just start over from scratch?
No, because why did he pour water in the water that was boiling?
So you used it anyway?
The point is you
I'm
didn't.
in a hurry. I'm not going to tip it all out. Half of it's hot.
But if you dump out half the water, so you drank the guy's spit water, basically.
I didn't drink it.
This whole thing makes no sense.
It melted my noodles.
They don't melt, by the way. This whole thing makes no sense. The guy, why would he do that? Did he say anything, or was he like, ha ha ha?
Because we work with animals.
Well, listen, I will sometimes fuck around. Like today when you were doing something, you were playing horse, and I sprayed lotion on your legs, which sounds weird now that I say it. But sometimes this is the kind of thing that happens.
It looked
sometimes.
great.
It happens sometimes. It used
Yeah.
to be the worst thing. Jeff got really sick of the
But
joke where I would always fuck with his food, and he got really sick of it.
The worst thing to do is keep people waiting. I hadn't had lunch yet, and 5 people were waiting to do a let's play.
I don't see how if he pours cold water in and doubles the size of what you're boiling, that you couldn't just dump the whole thing out and start over and it would be the same. Like if he dumped it into already boiling water, it seems like
It may have
Well,
been
then
like, it may have cooled it to like 140 or 150.
Then we're in a different realm of the fact that he knows I have a problem with it.
Oh, he was still standing there?
seriously.
So I'm watching him do this, and I'm like,
So you didn't even say anything. Like, why would you do that? Did he
So
look at you?
what?
Aggressive.
The damage is done. I just want to get out of there. I could have an argument with him.
Well, you
I
should
would-
let him know what's wrong.
Personally, I would have just walked away. I just would have left and gone back to
Should've
my
done.
desk.
I was hungry though. I need energy.
Doesn't matter.
It takes a lot of energy to be an asshole in videos.
Here's what you do next time. Official company policy. Take the kettle, look at it, and go, did you just dump your thing in there? He goes, yeah, just go splish right on him. It's boiling water.
It amazes
Whoever it
me
is.
that people are that gross though. People don't have the common
Gavin,
sense.
what you're saying literally makes no sense at all. Like,
Why?
It has to be a joke that he was playing on you to fuck with you to
No,
do
not
it.
this person.
You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, you've told me the story.
Okay.
It really, they just dumped their water into your kettle. That makes no sense to me at all. It's more effort
Because they
to do
needed
that.
water too.
It's more effort to do that. Did the person need hot water?
Yeah, they probably
They
needed
wanted
water
to make,
as well.
They wanted to make tea or something.
Oh, okay.
So they were disappointed with how much water I was boiling.
See, okay.
Speed.
Can I tell you something?
Damn right it was.
Can I tell you something, Gus?
Yep.
Was it me? Did I do it?
No.
Okay. Was one of the things we talked about the other day is now that we have live streams at 7 o'clock on Monday, 4 o'clock on Wednesday, and potentially the spoiler cast if it's a regular show, which we have not yet determined if we're going to do it or not. That's on Friday at noon. Right?
Correct.
I think it makes more sense to have the podcast, this regular general podcast, during our business hours, so that we have conversations like this. The person is still in the building.
I absolutely agree.
And we bring the person over and they have to explain themselves.
Absolutely agree.
I realize there's people who watch the live stream, and everyone watching right now will say that it's inconvenient for us to change the times because this is when they watch it. Because, of course, these people are going to say that's when it's inconvenient. Right. But I think overall it would make for a better show if everyone can hear the podcast and they can come over and defend themselves.
Yeah, I'm getting texts from people who work here.
Or tell them why.
Being defensive about it, and I know they're not here to come over and
really?
Defend themselves.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, we have to wrap up. We've gone much longer than I expected tonight, and we have a lot of RTX stuff to finish before we start moving tomorrow. So on that note, we're going to end. Maybe we'll reveal the Phantom Water person on Sunday.
Maybe put some socks on as well.
Should we mention the game that we'll be having at RTX? Did we
What?
talk about that
Who
yet?
was it?
Oh yeah, so we have. We can't even mention it.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed 4 will be
Multiplayer.
playable for our attendees at RTX.
And there's going to be a live event on the center stage as well with the Achievement Hunter guys.
Yeah, they will. I'm excited.
So it'll be really cool.
Yeah, I'm
The
really.
multiplayer in Assassin's Creed is top. I hope it's similar.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be.
So
But
we'll
anyway,
see you guys this weekend.
So yeah, we'll see you all live streaming this weekend from RTX.
I love you.
Bye.
Bye. Esther, we'll see you soon.